XM 91 and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs game night. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. The Leafs in Dallas tonight. Puck drop about 7:40-ish or so. And, of course, then we're on to Buffalo Friday night. We have that game for you as well on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. So one of the developing stories in the game against Buffalo at Scotiabank Arena on Sunday is the fact that there was secondary scoring. Domi scored. Robertson scored. The third line looked good. McMahon chipped in as well with assists and setup play. And that was a sort of a welcome relief, if you will. And we have Nick Robertson now in his line finally getting going.
Yeah, it was great. I think last game was great. I think it was the best game of the season for myself and for both my linemen to get on the board and we all touch the puck together. It was really nice. And we just got to keep that mentality. We got to keep going as a team and as a line to stick to our strengths. And again, like you said, playing today, obviously, I want to earn every game. I want to play every game. So that's my goal, and I want to do everything necessary to do so.
Why do you think that combo of you three did work so well against Buffalo?
I just think we have a lot of speed. I know those guys well. They know me well. Everyone, we can all shoot. We can all move our feet and play fast. I think we stick to keeping our game simple, but also, with our speed and letting Domes do his thing, and me and Bob just shooting the puck and keeping it simple. I think it just works well. Talking
to Jason just a few minutes ago, he was saying that him going through the injury gave him a greater appreciation of the injuries that you've had to battle through and the rehabs. How much have you guys talked about that? Did you relate your injury story to him as he went through it this summer?
He's a fighter too. He knows. Thankfully it was in the summer for him. It wasn't during the season, but it's definitely a nice comment that he appreciates that. But you just try to keep him positive and everything. It's kind of different in the summer. You're like, okay, I know you're gonna get back. In the season, it's a little different, but he bounced back right from that, and it was unfortunate he had to deal with that in the summer. But he's feeling good now.
How was the Anthony Stolarz news received in this room? What kind of response do you think?
What was the news?
4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, sorry, I don't think so. I didn't even know.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's tough to see that. He's a great goalie, and stuff happens like that. It's sometimes out of your control, and it sucks to hear that. But also we got Dennis here too. That we're all confident in him too. He's playing well in the Marlies, and he's played well here while he's been here. So we're confident in him.
It gives you confidence that Joseph can take the ball and run with it for a long stretch here.
The confidence is based on what he's been. He's always been a really, composed, a really poised goaltender, and we just go on off that. He's a really good goalie, so confident.
Nick Robertson getting set to face his brother tonight, Jason, for the Stars. Jason plays on their top line. Stu, when you look at Robertson, what he brings to the table, and Domi, those guys could really be a nice little duo, center and right side, and probably help each other.
I think so, right? But let's, be honest with sort of where they're at. I think both have underachieved, right? And again, there's been a lot more positives than negatives with this group, but, they have to find a way to do this consistently. And, we talk about someone like Fraser Minton. He had a pretty good body of work over, 10, 11 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, and he was playing some good hockey, right? But due to cap reasons, constraints with camp coming back, they sort of are forced to make this move. But so I think for them, it's just, hey, you had a good game. Yes, you are the media darlings for the night, but you have to find a way to now put 2, 3, 4, 5 games segments together to be consistent, because there's other guys knocking on the door. And, Connor Dewar's been playing some great hockey, I believe. Same thing with Holmberg. He's been great on the penalty kill. So there's that competition where I believe the fear of them being in and out of the lineup is going to elevate their game. But, for me personally, I'm like, okay, it's been great, but both of those players in Domi and Robertson, the expectations have been much harder. And they're the first to tell you that. It's a great first game, but I'm now interested to see how they respond tonight. And it's not even about goals and assists. I think Robertson, for about 10 or 15 of those games before he got scratched, he was due for probably 3, 4, or 5 goals. And Domi, I think, is still finding his way. So let's just hope him being now that centerman on the third line, that can be a line that drives and has a positive impact on the game. And I'll stay positive and say through one game, not bad. But let's check in now if Santa's been naughty or nice to this third line.
I think it's the other way around, but we'll go with that. That's an interesting twist. So really, the Leafs had 14 forwards now. When Yarn Crow comes back, it'll be 15, and that number's too high. I think they want to go with 13 and 8 defensemen. Obviously, Hakanpää's on the injured list as well, so they're going with 7 defensemen, which I know they don't want to do. So at some point, there's going to be another numbers crunch, and I don't know when that is. It's probably 2 to 3, maybe even a month away when they get to that point. So that's the Minton story. It was nothing to do with his play. With these players here, the roster's just loaded. I mean, they'd have to let somebody else go. He can clear waivers, so that's an easy decision.
Yeah, and I don't think it had anything to do with his play. And yes, you could say he had a couple off games, but for me, he did not look like a rookie. And you're going to see this Dallas Stars team with some young guys. You need to have young guys inserted into your lineup and have an impact. And, you're going to see Wyatt Johnson. You're going to see Logan Stankoven. You're going to see there's a young defenseman playing on the top line tonight in Leon Bischel. That's another guy from Switzerland that can come in. So every team around the league is finding a way to inject these guys. And yes, there are cap constraints in this, but you have to make room for young guys that can perform, that are performing above their cap hits. And, with a $35 million first line and 4 forwards making $40 million plus, you need some cheap young talent, not just participating, but performing on a nightly basis. So that's where I'm saying, okay, yes, Minton, I'm fine with it going down, him getting, 20, 22 minutes a night and playing in all situations. But if there's any more faltering, I believe, in this bottom 6, I think he was the best option so far in his 11-game stint, and you'll see him a lot sooner than later. But again, as a group, the team is playing well. Yes, there's been some inconsistencies with some players and some lines as a whole, but it's been a lot positive, and Craig Berube, I'm sure, is pleased with what he's seeing through 31 games.
Yeah, even in a worst case scenario for the player, let's say he doesn't show up again until next year, but he and Grabenkin are both on entry level contracts and can clear waivers. That's like a double-edged flexibility that they haven't had in the past. So there's nothing to complain about there, is there?
No, and I'm sure Craig Berube's, sat across the table from, Treliving and saying, like, I need these guys in my lineup. They're performing. They're doing stuff every night. And, but again, it's Treliving's job to sort of manage the cap and find a way to find this balance and give guys an opportunity, or, showcase some guys, right? Showcase some guys that might be in a trade. We just saw the big trade with New York Rangers and Kaapo Kakko, who was a second overall pick a few years ago, getting traded to the Seattle Kraken. So Toronto's not immune to it. You got to make moves. Guys are going to be coming in and out. But what I like about this group, there's guys knocking on the door. When's the last time you heard about guys coming in and knocking on the door and really pushing guys for jobs? If I'm the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm really, really excited about that future that might come sooner than later.
Well, it's pressure on the guys that are in the lineup. So Robertson and Domi, we detailed, they have to get on the score sheet on a consistent basis. And let's not forget Kampf coming back into that and centering the fourth line. Obviously, there's a period of grace while he gets back into game timing. I'm not going to say game shape, but game timing. But he's got to produce too, doesn't he?
He does. 3 assists this year, 0 goals. But again, he is a defensive stalwart. He's a guy that kills penalties, wins big faceoffs, and he's a prototypical centerman. I'd like to see maybe someone with a little bit more jam, a little bit more truculence, and play a heavier game. But he's very, very serviceable. It was him and Jan Krook that were brought in to sort of be those Swiss Army knives that can go up and down and play whatever is asked of them. And I think Kemp, for the most part, has done his job. But when you have younger guys that are coming in and putting up numbers while doing that same thing, it's going to push you to be better. So Kampf, yes, he is a great player. He's earned the trust of Craig Berube, but if he doesn't perform, he might be in that same boat as a Dewar or a Holmberg, where you're in and out of the lineup. But so as a player, when I had other guys pushing me, it made me better. It made me better because I'd be saying, if I had a bad shift or a bad period, I'm like, oh man, I got to get my game together. If not, I might be out of the lineup. And it's just so happened that it cost me 37 games one year, one bad game. But that's neither here nor there. It brings your overall play up, and it pushes the team, and it makes the whole group more better as well.
Let's talk about records. The Leafs will hit the ice at 19-10-2, and Dallas 19-11-0, which is fascinating. Dallas at home 13-3-0. The Leafs on the road 5-6-2. That's I can't explain that. Can you? No. And I'm sure their players are thinking about that. But the one thing I'd like to maybe divulge on is, Coach DeBoer, he knows the importance of this game playing against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He coached for the Kitchener Rangers with Steve Spott, and, he's a prideful guy, and I can say he's probably one of the most prepared coaches in the National Hockey League. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see Toronto take probably about a half a period to sort of figure out that system because, he studies the game. He's a student of the game. And he does advanced scouting reports where he knows the proper system and what to do. So it's going to be interesting to see how Toronto responds to that. And, as I say that, they probably just scored a goal now as I'm talking about that. But I think it's going to be an interesting, tight checking game. But this Dallas Stars team, they're big, they're fast, they're strong. And I've heard some comments on social media saying, well, why is Reeves in this game? Well, you're going to see in the first period, when you see guys like Jamie Benn, and you're going to see guys like Rupe Hintz, these guys that look like juggernauts on the ice, 6'3", 6'4". Jason Robertson's another guy that's 6'3", and Sam Steele, and some of these other guys that are on the bottom lines as well too. It's going to be a heavy, tight checking game, but I think that's going to be in positive. It's going to fall right into the wheelhouse of the style that Craig Berube and the Toronto Maple Leafs want to play. Dallas penalty kill 83.9, fifth best in the league, and the Leafs power play in the road is not good. I mean, their overall the power play is 19th at 19.8, but I think it just travels at around 10% on the road, which is not good.
That's not good. No. That's not good. And, the solution to that is just simplify. And I always go back to Craig Ramsey, who's probably one of the best coaches of all time in the National Hockey League with teaching. And it's just, you got to shoot. You got to have volume. You got to be like Barry Bonds when he's in a slump, keep swinging, keep shooting. So I think they got to get that mentality where they have to simplify. But the one thing I did notice that they've done a good job in puck retrievals, and we'll see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, Dallas is on a 6-game homestand. This is game 5 of it. They're 3-1 so far, and would like to add to it, and the Leafs would like to spoil the party. We'll set up the opening faceoff for you next. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda...
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. Really would need you guys to go exit out of the chat right now and hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more hockey fans hanging out with us here for the Stars and the Leafs tonight. Thank you guys for hitting that like button and sharing this out, because when you guys do, more people come hang out here, more people enter our awesome community, and we get to have a lot more fun in the chat But man, we always have so much fun every single night. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go.
Price guarantee and enjoy a free gift with purchase for a limited time. Speak to a sleep expert for details. Get the gift you really wanted during the Boxing Week event at Sleep Country.
Dash for deals at PetSmart. Now through December 24th, save $10 now and $10 later on select large dog food bags. Save $8 now and $8 later on select large cat food bags. Plus, save 50% on holiday products. See stores or PetSmart.ca for complete details.
A Tim's Donut and Coffee is the original collab. And right now in Toronto, any classic donut is $1 when you buy any size original or dark roast coffee. Get a deal on the iconic duo with a Tim's Dollar Donut. Plus tax at participating restaurants in Toronto for limited time. Terms apply. See app for details.
Well, here we go. Camp is back. The forward unit is almost totally healthy and changes up front. The big line features Matthews, Centering, Nylander, and Marner. You wonder how they will dent the score sheet tonight, and you also wonder how long they'll stay together as a line. You also think about the goaltending long term. What's up with that? How will all of this evolve is one of the questions you're asking yourself, and my suggestion is let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And playing in Dallas tonight. Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network. Jim Taddy alongside Anthony Stewart, Joe Bone and Jimmy Ralph getting their counts and descriptions in order. The starting lineup goes like this: Austin Matthews centering Marner and Nylander, Tavares centering Nyes and Pacioretty, Domi centering Robertson and McMahon, Kampf back in, centering Reeves and Lorentz on the blue line, Riley, OEL, McCabe, Tanev, Benoit and Timmins are the pairs, and Wall starts in goal, and that means the scratches are Myers, Holmberg, and Dewar, and the injured are Yarncroke and Hakanpää. Well, I mean, the ultimate question here, Stu, is I can see why you'd want to go with that stacked top line, but why would you want to do it in Dallas?
I was just taking a look at that as you mentioned that. And, you see this third line of the Dallas Stars, with Jamie Benn, Sam Steele, and Evgeny Dadonov. They got 16 goals as a group. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a tough matchup. We're going to see what Pete DeBoer and co are going to do with their matchups and who are they going to play against that Austin Matthews line. But this could be a game of balance where, I've heard some reports that maybe this lineup might not stay the same after a period or two. But again, I think Craig Berube, he understands the big picture. You've got to try different things. You've got to throw things in a blender. In an 82-game season, there's going to be ups and downs, and you have to find a way to try to see what chemistry. There has to be multiple chemistry units because every team's going to have different matchups, and you have to be able to slide guys up, down, in, and out to be competitive in today's NHL.
Tonight's Coach's Comments is powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Coach Berube, and how long of a run the stacked top line will get?
I threw it together last game. Like I said, I get Willie out there with those guys in game, probably every game, a few times, but I threw them together all last game. I thought they were pretty good together, created some opportunities. For me, it's with those guys all being together, it's don't be too fancy. You still gotta play the right way, be direct, shoot pucks, get to the net. Like I talk to these guys, you can't all be on the outside wanting the puck and trying to create space for yourself. We got to be direct still, and you got to have guys at the net. So if somebody's got the puck, the other two guys got to read off each other, and they got to be at the net. Because if they have the puck and they're skating around and doing all this stuff, and nobody's at the net, no shots are getting there. It's pretty much useless.
This was Yanni Hakanpää's former team. Is there an update on him? I know you mentioned he had a
Yeah, no, he's still rehabbing it. That's really all I have for you.
What's your sense of what this opportunity means to Joseph now that he's going to be the guy?
Yeah, he's going to take the ball and run with it here, and like I said, he's played really well for us this year, and he's going to be put a little bit more in the spot now, not so much of a rotation, right? So I think he's prepared for it, and I think he wants that.
Where's Myers now than from the first game in Boston?
Way more confident. I think understands what's needed out of him when he's out there, what we want from him, and playing within himself and that simple brand of hockey. And, for me, he's gotten better and better, since the Boston game.
How big of a difference are you noticing Ekman Larsson when he's on his right or on his left?
Yeah, well, for sure. Anybody that plays their offside is going to have a little more difficult time at times for moving the puck, And you put a defenseman on his forehand and on his side, he's going to move the puck better. So, but I think he's okay. I think he's adjusted to it. And I think, like I said, he's played it in the past too. It's not like the first time for him to do this. So, but, I think you're going to have little ups and downs with it for sure. That's just human nature, playing on your offside. It's just more difficult.
You anxious to see if the third line can do it again?
I sure am. Listen, for me, it's not even so much. I love that they scored. I want them to score, but it's the mindset that they had, in my opinion, was, Max and Robbie and Mac, they skated and they were on people, and they played fast and they played north, and they were all physical. That's really what it boils down to. They were in there, they competed on pucks, they won puck battles, they took the body, and they attacked, and they got to stay with that. And it's just about them managing the puck. Like, we don't need you to be cute. We need you to play this way. Play north. Get on the forecheck. Play fast. Get in there. Win puck battles. Get to the net, So they did a real good job last game for us.
Still, I don't think there's any way around it. They need secondary scoring on a consistent basis.
Yes, they do. And, it was funny seeing Craig Bruba's comments on that top line. If they don't have 10 shots in this first period as a group, I could see them changing. But he made a good point. It's not necessarily about the points. It's just about pushing the pace, creating opportunities, and putting the opposition sort of on their heels. So being just, noticeable and recognizable out there and having a positive impact on the game, and the results will take care of itself. So I like the fact that he's process-based, not results. And again, it's one game. Let's give them a little bit of breathing room and see if they can replicate that. But the same thing is, remember when they put Pacioretty with Tavares, they bumped them up. That led to a 15-20 game streak where they've been playing some decent hockey. So let's see if this little change now gives them that needed bump for them now to perform at a high level like some of the other players.
And if it happened tonight, it would really be legitimate because Dallas is a good hockey team.
They are very, very stingy on defense. Excuse me. Jake Ottinger, only 10 goals against his last 5 starts. He started 23 of the 31 games for this Dallas Stars. Tight checking, big, fast, strong. So Toronto's got to do a good job in managing the puck because and clearing out that front of the net, because this Dallas team, they can really push the pace. They can get in front of the net and make night very, very unpleasant for you two. So it's a big, big test, and we'll see if Toronto's up for the task.
Okay, the opening faceoff is next. Joe Bone and Jimmy Ralph will take it away. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Every fantasy football player has a date with destiny, and this week is yours. The Fantasy Football Playoffs are here. Listen to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio and dominate your competition with expert analysis from a fantasy perspective to help you set a winning lineup.
And he spins his way into the end zone.
Go home the champion, or just go home.
At this point of the year, I want to be invested in teams that are playing for something.
The Fantasy Football Championship, Channel 87, and on the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. This guy is at soccer practice right now during the game, and so am I in the parking lot hanging out. So thank you for being here and making this awesome place for us to hang out and watch the Leafs together and chat it up. Tom, you going to score some goals tonight at practice?
Probably over 20.
20? Oh, my God. That's a lot. All right, back to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores! Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Reno Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
The Leafs are down in the big state of Texas as they tangle with the Dallas Stars in Dallas, Texas. And amid all kinds of things going on as far as the Maple Leafs are concerned, and the starting lineups brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Joseph Woll gets the call in goal as his running mate has succumbed to an injury that is going to cost him about 4 to 6 weeks because of a floating pebble in his knee. I'll let you've had knee surgery. I'll let you explain what that is. And at the other end of the rink is Jake Ottinger. And so the two kids who played together in hockey, junior age, are facing each other in the starting lineup tonight. Has John Tavares' line starting for the Maple Leafs. The faceoff brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan. Alpine Credits can help. Get approval at alpinecredits.ca. Puck is dropped and we're underway. Leafs to the left. And the Stars to the right as it's grabbed off by Dallas and flipped to the Toronto blue line. Knocked back out at center by Tavares to Pacioretty. And Pacioretty will send it into the left wing corner. Leafs get in on the forecheck. Pacioretty gets it back along the boards there for Tavares. He ties up his man. Stars trying to dig it free, and they do. Backhanded now by Hintz out into the center ice area. Tanev has to go back into his own zone for Toronto. Long lead pass deflects into Dallas territory. Ottinger out of the cage to play it into the corner. Lindell trying to work it up the boards, ran into McMahon. That was stopped. The puck comes up on the right wing side, and it's brought out at center ice by Dadonov to the Leaf blue line, but then no further. Brought back in over the line. That could have been an offside. Not called. Down into the corner goes Riley along with Oliver Ekman-Larsson trying to center. They knock it up into the corner, and it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson playing it up on the wing, and it's batted to center ice then by Bobby McMahon. Stars back in the neutral zone to recover. Wyatt Johnston sending it in, but it's going into the Toronto bench and out of play. Did you ever have a pebble on your knee?
I missed 8 months, so it was more like a brick than it was a pebble. No, I mean, I've still got the medial meniscus damage, anterior cruciate, medial collateral. No pebble.
No pebble.
No.
No. And it's apparently it's like a floating piece of cartilage or meniscus or something. It doesn't require, it's not structurally damaged. That obviously your knee was, but this is something that has to be like taken out, and it's a major injury, and it's being performed in New York as the Stars get it down into the Toronto zone. Played around back of the net. Trying to chip it along there was Tanev. It goes into the far corner. Tanev's going to get there first. And here's the big line out for Toronto. A pass for Matthews to the line. Couldn't get in over the line cleanly. And it's going to be whistled down offside as a result. The most expensive line in hockey this year is on the ice.
Now, what about all time?
Don't know that.
I mean, McDavid, Draisaitl have got to be up there with Zach Hyman.
Yep.
Well together.
Yep.
Nico Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon.
Yep.
Maybe Landeskog when he was healthy in Colorado.
Well, what about the production line of Howe, Delvecchio, and Lindsay? That had to cost an awful lot of money.
Yeah, if you asked management, it did.
Yeah. The trick there was that when someone went in and said, well, I want to make this much money, and Jack Adams said, well, you can't make as much as more than Gordie Howe, and the guy would say, well, how much did Howe make as it rolls in on goal and it's going to be covered up here by Wall? He said, well, how much does Howe make? Well, I can't tell you that. So you never found out. But I would think that Howe, Delvecchio, and Lindsay were the three highest paid players on the Detroit roster.
You would think.
You would think.
Remember, Carl Brewer, was he not the one that sort of blew the lid off Gordie Howe was making?
Absolutely.
Which leads me to believe that they may not have been the highest paid.
No. Well, no. They weren't paid what they were worth. They may have been the highest paid players, but then everybody else was making less anyway, so it didn't matter, right?
I don't believe, until Wayne Gretzky went to Los Angeles, there was disclosure of players' salaries.
Yep. No, that was an enormous decision by the Players Association. As it is played down into the Dallas zone. Nyes couldn't get to it. Following up on the play was Pacioretty, and then Tavares couldn't drag it to the front of the net. Now it bounces to Nyes, to Tavares, and his shot is deflecting up into the screen and out of play in behind Jake Ottinger. And the reason it was so important was exactly what I just said. Well, you can't make more than Gordie Howe. Well, how much is Gordie Howe making? Well, I can't tell you that. Well, if I know what Wayne Gretzky's making, maybe I know where I should fit on the ledger. And that is when the salaries actually started to really escalate,
that's
right?
Like I always said. Well, I told Bob Pulford I wanted to make what Tony Esposito made, and he said I was only half as good. So I said, then give me half.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Tanev a shot deflects just wide of the Dallas goal. Play. How'd that work out?
I'm here, aren't I?
Marner for Nylander trying to drive the net, goes around back of the goal, trying to kick it free. Had it tied up there, then Matthews got it out in front of the net, but it was right into the goalpost area, and Ottinger cleared it away, and it's cleared out into the center ice area. Here the Stars in over the line with Jamie Benn trying to get a shot through and failing. Marner settles things down, gets it ahead for Nylander. Nylander's pass goes off his skate. And I want to get your thoughts on having those three big creative guys playing on the same line when we get a chance. Here's Robertson for the Stars, unable to penetrate, cleared out at center, shot right back in again by Dallas.
I think it's as dependent as much on the second and third lines as it is putting them together. If they're on fire, that's great, but if you've got to spread out the scoring, then I don't think it's going to last. So I think a lot of it has to do, can the Domi line repeat what it did against Buffalo?
A shot whistled wide and deflecting up into the screen by Dallas, and that was the other Robertson, Jason, sending that shot. Just the physical makeup of it. Does it have someone who will be a net presence?
Well, and that's what Craig Berube said, that you can't have three guys on the outside, nobody going to the net. He said it defeats the purpose. He said somebody still has to be driving towards the net. So, Matthews might be the more obvious out of Marner and Nylander, but obviously that depends on who's got the puck and where it is.
Face-off scrum that goes into the near corner in the Toronto zone. Stars get it back to the point. Brendan Smith keeping it alive on the boards. And David Camp back into the lineup after completing his injured reserve. Gets it in on the right side, and Riley backhands it back of the goal. Ottinger got it into the corner. Good hit there by Lorenz, but it comes out into the center ice area and down towards Wall, who will tuck it back of the goal, playing it off to Morgan Riley, who sends it off to his defense partner. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it ahead and sends it down into Dallas territory. The Leafs have enjoyed little Southern hospitality over the years. Play it in along the boards now. Camp trying to fish it free, but it goes around back of the net, and Lyubushkin will get it ahead. Up on the left wing side, played over the line then by Marchment. Marchment goes to the front of the net, but it comes to the left wing side. Then Marchment went back of the goal and ran out of real estate as he stumbled himself into the end boards. Leafs come back at center. Marner finding Tanev. Tanev in over the line, dropping for Willie. Nylander closes, and his shot was right in the middle of the pads and is easily stopped. Cleared out at center ice now by Dallas. Trying to work in over the line. Here's a chance for Sam Steele. Scores! Steele got a loose puck at center ice and beat everybody the rest of the way, and the big line is a -1.
A lot of this was Chris Tanev, Joe, led the rush into the Dallas zone, and nobody took his spot. By the time the puck was turned over, Tanev was near the Dallas net. Austin Matthews was the closest giving chase. But Steele walks in, and Joseph Wall leaves the near side post early. And Steele makes the perfect shot over the blocker under the crossbar. And the Dallas Stars are up 1.
And they are 8-0-0, and they have scored the opening goal on home ice. And they have got a great home ice record as they are 13-3-0. Stars get in over the line, but it is turned back, and Pacioretty gets it on the wing for Nyes. He stumbles and has to retrace his steps, then gets a return pass and comes to center. He'll flip in on the right wing. Down into the corner it goes and around back of the net. Heiskanen getting tied up, and it is brought out at center ice on the left wing now. Here is Dadonov getting a shot that went wide. Cleared by Domi to center. Nyes dropping it back. Fed in then by the Maple Leafs Pacioretty, and out of the goal comes Ottinger to play it into the corner. Leafs unable to trap it, comes back at center, chipped to the near boards, bouncing puck that Domi is able to restore. He's got Robertson going to the front of the net, and a shot by Domi, he scores! Max Domi ending his drought the other night and has banged in another one here tonight, and it's tied at a goal.
He'd gone 16 without a point before scoring a goal and getting an assist against the Buffalo Sabres on Sunday. And here, Domi, this is going to be unassisted. Stars turn the puck over, right wing boards, center ice. And Domi picks it up, but what really makes this show is Nick Robertson drives to the net and takes a defenseman with him. And Max Domi, Steele goes bar down at one end. Max Domi goes far side, blocker side on Ottinger just below the crossbar to tie this game at 1.
So about a minute apart, 59 seconds actually, which is almost a minute apart. Teams are tied at a goal apiece.
Different time zone, though.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that does come in. Oh, now I got to start thinking. Oh, no. You know what? I'll take this commercial break to start it out. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Deck the halls
with boughs of holly.
With a channel featuring generation after generation of country stars.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
And their heartfelt holiday sounds.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
From back then to right now.
It's officially Christmas.
Country Christmas, now through December 25th on Channel 58 and on the Sirius XM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right.
How you doing tonight, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Dallas Stars. The Leafs head south to Texas. Where are you watching from tonight with us here on Toronto Sports Insider? Let us know in the chat if you're watching in Toronto, you're watching somewhere across Canada. Let me see those awesome Canada flag emojis as well. United States, anybody in the U.S.? I know we have lots of people in the United States, including myself, as well as all over the world. So many people gather here to hang out and listen to our buds play and cheer them on with the best community on YouTube. Now let's get back to the hockey. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go!
The all-new Sirius XM app.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Max Domi scoring his second goal in as many games. Ties this game at ones.
Puck is out of play here, but the linesman signaling that it went off the Leafs stick. By the way, you were talking about the Leafs have had success in that building. They've won 6 in a row at American Airlines Arena and 6 in a row overall against the Dallas Stars. And where Dallas is impressive, 13-3 at home, but one of those losses was in Finland against the Florida Panthers earlier in the year.
Bouncing puck comes out in front of the net. Marner almost stole it there from the defenseman, Esa Lindell. Now the Stars get it out into neutral ice. In over the line, Morgan Rielly is able to take it away in his own zone. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it to the line, but not out. Kept in by Bork. And a shot stopped there by Wall. Back to the point, Lindell. Keeping it into the corner, and a shot from an angle is deflected wide of the goal by Jason Robertson. Leafs are going to elevate it through center. Nylander failed to touch it, but and he won't get there to deny an icing, and it's coming back into the Maple Leaf zone.
Boy, another turnover in the Leaf zone. And this time it was Willie Nylander trying to backhand pass up the middle of the ice from the right wing boards. That got picked off. And it was Maverick Bork that got the shot away that Joseph Wall was forced to make pretty difficult blockers take.
Draw scrummed into the corners, controlled by Rielly, fed around the boards now to center. Nylander tried to make a tip pass there to Marner that didn't connect. Heiskanen sending it back down into Toronto territory. Right wing feed for Marner. Looking over his shoulder to see where traffic is coming. A diagonal shoot into the left wing corner, and the shot deflects off his stick and goes well wide of the net as Lorenz, coming off the bench, let it go. Played to center ice by Dallas, bouncing puck that Benoit had difficulties with, and he steps into Stankoven, and that comes back to the point, and a shot with no traffic in front is drilled into the Maple Leaf crest on Joseph Wall, and he will cover up on it.
It was Ilya Lyubushkin, two-time former Leaf, to let it go from the middle of the ice. By the way, Chris Tanev was a pretty impressive member in his brief stay with the Dallas Stars. 19 games in the regular season, 19 more in the playoffs. So
Peter DeBoer had a lot of complimentary things to say about Chris Tanev, coach of the Dallas Stars. He and Steve Spott have been a tandem together since their days out in the West Coast in San Jose. Puck back in the Toronto zone. Camp playing it around the boards for Tanev. Tanev looks up ice and goes to the left wing side. Bouncing puck into the Dallas zone is pushed in along the boards, but Reeves couldn't get it initially. Able to tip it back at the net, and the Stars have control of it now, and Blackwell brings it out on the left wing to Steele. Steele into the left wing corner. Works it into the net area where it's caught by Wall, and he will bring a face-off with 11:45 to play. Period number 1 from the American Airlines Arena.
Joseph Wall against Jake Ottinger. The guys that came up through the under-17 and under-18 U.S. national teams together. In 3 years they were teammates.
And they split that time right down the middle. They were both highly touted. And there's a shot that Wall deflects into the corner. Now another shot that he stops with his stick. Leafs get the puck free, and it is Timmins getting it ahead for Tavares, who finds Pacioretty. He'll shoot it in from center. Round on the board's far side. Tavares trying to come up with the puck. Oh, and Pacioretty runs over one of the Stars. I don't know if there's a penalty or not, but there's a whistle here.
I think the whistle might have been because, Dallas had control of the puck. And Dallas is picking up the penalty here.
Someone must have gone after Pacioretty after the fact, and that is Hintz.
Yeah. And we didn't see it. It was well behind the play. The big hit, Pacioretty on his man, and it's close to boarding. It knocks his helmet off and into the bench.
His stick knocks his helmet off, and then Hintz gave Pacioretty the cross-check on the way through. So the Leafs dodge a big bullet there.
And
Hintz will get the penalty.
I don't think that even the cross-check was that bad. To me, it was just a
Hintz cross-check.
Yeah, a little flyby.
I would agree with you there. The Leafs catch a large break here in a tie game. Power play brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. As the Leafs keep the puck in, Matthews to the left wing side. Looking for a man in front was Riley. Poked back towards the blue line. Marner's able to keep it in. Saucers it over to Matthews. Matthews back to Marner. Marner in the middle of the ice, back at the blue line to Riley. Back it comes, and a bad pass by Nylander is all the way back into the Leaf zone. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Leafs to the line, but cough it up. And it's shot out and down the ice again by Dallas.
Penalty kill for the Stars, 5th best in the National Hockey League.
The Leaf power play is 19th. 19 of 96, and they've turned it over again. And down the ice it goes once more. Power play with a minute to go, and it would appear, well, we can't see yet. Yep, second unit coming over the boards. Pass there by Timmins. That was intercepted. And a pass ahead now by the Stars. Ices the puck once more. Timmins back of the net. Looking for Domi. Pass hits Domi in the skate. My goodness, that's been 2 horrible passes by Connor Timmins to try to get the Leafs into the zone. Now Nye circles back at his own blue line. A little head fake, gained center, played it in off the wall, got it into the zone. Traffic jam develops along the boards. Nylander trying to get it back to the point, can't. Now against the wall, it'll come free to Pacioretty. He wristed a shot that was high over top of the net. Leafs back of the goal. Nyes was bodied against the boards. It comes back to Domi on the near side. Max gets it off on the wing and gets it returned. Cross-ice pass for Nylander. And Nylander has had a horrible first half of this period in handling the puck. Tried to load up a shot there, and it just rolled off his stick.
Even the pass, he tried back to Matthews and missed him by about 5 feet.
And now Ottinger catches a pass, and Berube having a little word with Nylander to settle down, and for the lack of a better term, get your head in the game.
Well, just sometimes it's not there. Sometimes you just have a tough start, but also the skilled players in the National Hockey League could still end up with 2 or 3 points in a game they're not feeling 100%.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Sam had aspirations of opening.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's listening to the best call in the business, Joe Bowen, on the radio for the Leafs and the Stars. Are you a subscriber? Are you an insider? Have you hit that subscribe button yet? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it. We go live every single Toronto sports event that happens. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you for becoming an insider. And to all of the insiders up to now, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button at some point along the way. Go Leafs, go.
Save on frozen turkey at only 99 cents a pound. Plus, get a free Lindt carousel for every $300 spent. 'Tis the season to find more legendary ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. Conditions apply. See Fly for details.
They have awarded Morgan Riley and Bobby McMahon assists on the Max Domi tying goal, which it was a gift in a couple of ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my initial thoughts that it was a turnover at center by the Dallas Stars. I give Max Domi a lot of credit.
Leafs win the faceoff. Robertson sending it around back of the net. David Camp is there. And the puck goes free as Bobby McMahon couldn't come up with it, and it's out at center ice, and now an icing against Dallas will stop play and bring it back into the Dallas Stars zone.
How about this for a draft in 2017? The Dallas Stars draft Miro Heiskanen 3rd overall. Jake Ottinger 26th overall. And then Robertson went 29th overall.
Wow. How was your draft? Not bad. Stars get it out at center and down into the Leaf end. Domi going back for it. Had it lifted off his stick. A centering pass comes to the side of the goal. Swatted into the corner by Wall. Now back of the net. Duchesne trying to come up with it. It comes into the near corner. Robertson is bodied there by Stankoven, and now along the boards it goes free. Duchesne around back of the net. Stops up. Took a hit. Pass in the front. Intercepted by McMahon, and Bobby McMahon brings it to the line and just tips it in over the line. Now trying to get a loose puck to behave. Leafs do get it free. Marner looking to shoot, doesn't do it. Holds on, near half boards, getting it back to the blue line, but it's going to come out at center. Connor Timmins getting it off on the wing for Benoit, and he'll shoot it in. There's a one time where you kind of wish Marner would have just taken it to the net and at least got a shot at the goal as it rolls in wide of the Toronto goal. Tipped into the corner by Wall. Puck comes free. Benoit trying to send it up on the right side, and Marner's away with Matthews and Nylander. In along the boards. Willie on the left wing boards gets it back of the net. Into the corner it comes. Grabbed off there by Robertson. Jason of the Stars. He'll get it into neutral ice, and it's banked in over the line. Shot in around back of the goal. Slowed up there by Wall. Played back into the corner, and with time and space, Timmins gets it up on the wing, and now Marner gets it ahead. A pass by Matthews on the backhand, hit a leg. Puck comes along the boards, and Nyes is there. Tried to roll it in front. It comes back now to Ekman-Larsson. His feathery pass to the far side was deflected up into the air. Now here's Nyes looking for a man in front. Pacioretty was there, but the stick of Ottinger just deflected that away at the last second. Lindell for Dallas to the left wing side. Nyes into the forecheck, takes his man down as Stadnoff couldn't break up on the wing. Cleared to center. Leafs get it again. Tavares trying to send it in, had his pass intercepted, and Brendan Smith will play deep into the Toronto zone before heading to the bench. Leafs get it up on the wing to the line, but not out. Puck now down into the corner in the Toronto zone. Blackwell twisting and turning to get away from Tanev. Blocker play there made, but the stick down the Wall, and the Stars trying to keep the puck in against Tanev, and it is taken to safety then by McCabe, and then Tanev says, you know, we've been down here a long time. Joey, why don't you just put your mitt on it and we'll get the heck off the ice.
I'll tell you though, Jake Ottinger made a great play just with a little poke check for a puck pass going across the top of the crease.
And Wall did likewise on another centering pass too. So
must have the same goalie coach.
Well, he must be smiling tonight.
Under an 18 team. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I said Jason Robertson went 29th overall. He went 39th overall. So he was a second round pick to go with first rounders Ottinger and Heiskanen.
6:21 to go, first period. Tied at a goal. Stars control the faceoff. Robertson trying to play it back to the point. Does. kept in by Heiskanen. Heiskanen into the corner, dropping it back. Robertson's pass to the right wing side, and that went off the stick on the far side of Hintz and goes up into the crowd, or up into the screen, out of play. Actually hit the side of the goal and then caromed up into the screen, out of play.
Remember when the mesh used to be really loose?
Yeah,
you
would gobble that up.
Reggie Leach hammer one, and the net would bulge about 6 feet behind the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you really knew it was in.
Yeah.
Now it goes in and out so darn fast, you're not sure. Leafs get the puck out at center. Can't chip it into the zone without having... Now they're saying it was onside. I don't know about that. Played in around the boards, back of the net. Lorentz dodges a hit. Leaves it for Reeves in the far corner, who gets it back to the point. There's a long shot. That went wide of the goal. Ekman-Larsson keeping it in. Camp can't get to it. Bounced out at center. Ekman-Larsson trying to shoot it back in, but he fanned on it. And now a lead pass goes astray and down into the Toronto zone off a body. Morgan Rielly coming out of his own end. Hits the red line, and in it goes. Caught by Ottinger. And he will stop play and bring a face-off in the circle with 5:22 to play in the first period. Dallas out shooting Toronto 8-4, but the game is deadlocked at a goal. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This Friday, SiriusXM presents an MLB Network Radio Town Hall with Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. Hosted by two-time Golden Globe winner Bryan Cranston. Hear a discussion about the journey to the Dodgers World Series title as Roberts shares stories from the dugout. Don't miss this exclusive Town Hall with Dave Roberts and Bryan Cranston. 4 p.m. Friday on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and anytime on the SiriusXM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Due to NHL.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. Really would need you guys to go exit out of the chat right now and hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more hockey fans hanging out with us here for the Stars and the Leafs tonight. Thank you guys for hitting that like button and sharing this out, because when you guys do, more people come hang out here, more people enter our awesome community, and we get to have a lot more fun in the chat. But man, we always have so much fun every single night. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Leafs and Stars are deadlocked at a goal. We're just getting another look at the Max Domi goal and how they are awarding assists.
It was Brendan Smith went to play it. It went off his stick, then off the right wing boards, and that's when Domi picked it up. So I guess you can argue that Brendan Smith never had full control of the puck.
Anyway, why would I argue about a couple of extra points being awarded to the Leafs? I'm not. Into the corner now, Matthews. Tried to play it back of the net. Cut off there by Lindell. He gets it out at center, and Nylander hands it back to his defense. Rielly. Left wing side, Matthews. Matthews drops it back. It comes over to Timmins in the slot. Tried to go wide. Has a chance to go to the net. Centered in front of the goal. And it's gone by everyone all the way back into the Toronto zone. But looked to be a dangerous play. Turns out to be nothing. Now the Stars get it back into the Leaf end. Timmins lifting it high. And it hits.
It hit the camera.
The camera. Now, the camera is over the glass.
In play, yes.
So
and right away, the linesman right away signaled that it was not a penalty. Mason Marchment and the Dallas Stars are not agreeing with the call.
Is that one of the worst that's gotten away in our tenure, Mason Marchment?
Number 25, 2-minute minor delay game.
Well, the linesman signaled right away.
Wow.
That it was deflected out, but the referees, after a brief meeting, we're going to look at it here. Yeah, you know what? This does go over the glass.
Yeah.
In fact, we know because we just got a view of the camera that it hit.
So Connor Timmins goes to the penalty box, and the Leafs are a man short for the first time in the contest. And the penalty kill is brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks.
Dallas, 22nd overall, 29th on the power play at home, which is hard to believe. 6 for 47 on home ice for Dallas.
Shot out and down the ice by the Leaf penalty kill, which is 9th in the National Hockey League. And in the last 5 games, they've given up 4 on 15 times short. So it hasn't been real good. Down into the corner. Robertson for the Stars. Got it back to the point. Puck comes in front of the net. Just tipped away by David Kampf on a good play. Kept in by Heiskanen at the point. Into the slot with a shot. Blocked in front by Tanev. This is a recording. Into the corner goes Tanev with it again. Trying to dig it free there is McCabe. Trying to free it up for Nyes, but he couldn't. Back to the point. Heiskanen, a shot into the chest of Wall. And there was no rebound. At least it didn't come off his chest with any rebound intent, as he was able to get a glove on it and hold for a face-off.
David Kampf, a great stick to break up a pass across the top of the slot. And you've got to hope your special teams are clicking tonight, because Dallas Stars just don't give up a lot of goals. Jake Ottinger, Joe, in 23 games this year, only 3 times has given up more than 3 goals in a game.
Here are the Stars down low trying to center. They jam away at it. Down with all 4s is Wall, and then Benoit and Marchment shoving a little bit. Mason Marchment, the son of Brian Marchment, who played briefly with the Maple Leafs but was one of the most notorious open ice hitters in the National Hockey League. Later became a scout, and unfortunately during the draft in Montreal passed away. And sad day. He was a wonderful individual. Here are the Stars with a centering pass. Comes back to the point. Heiskanen gets it into the left wing side. Working down the boards is Dadonov. Back to Heiskanen. Cross ice to the far side, and a wrist shot in traffic. That deflected off Tanev and went into the corner. I don't think anybody really realized where it was. Back to the point, out over the line. And Heiskanen has to retreat quickly into his own zone. Played ahead for Stankoven on the left wing side. Marchment. He holds back to the point. Heiskanen with a shot. That broke his stick. And now the Leafs have a rush here with a defenseman without a stick. Brought in over the line. And a good play by Heiskanen to take his man out in Steven Lorenz, even though he didn't have the use of a hockey stick. Lindell in on the right side. Dadonov tries to center, and it went by everyone. Back to the point with 7 seconds left in the power play. To the point once more, off onto the right wing corner, coming out with a shot that deflects, and it's grabbed off by the Leafs. Looking for a quick break out of the penalty box was Timmins, but he couldn't control the pass with any cleanliness to get it down on a rush. Back in the Toronto zone, swept around the boards. It'll come up on the wing. A pass by Pacioretty was intercepted. Drop pass for Sam Steele, a shot, and that deflected wide. Nylander out now along with Tavares and Pacioretty. Sent down into the offensive zone. Tavares trying to dig it free but can't. And it's cleared out into the center ice area. And Steele gets into the Toronto end. Steele with the pass on the left wing. Smith going to the net. Big save by Joey Wall. And a whistle from behind the play.
Another penalty?
Don't know. We can't see the penalty box.
Well, it's Connor Timmins again. They're going to call a slash. This must have happened behind the play as well. Is it not? I mean, Timmins had just come out of the penalty box. And we're not. Or is it Nylander?
No, it's Timmins. It's Timmins in the box, slashing.
We just saw a replay of Nylander, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, folks, we didn't see that penalty at all.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Was a bit of a slash, I guess. So the penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. And the Stars are on the power play. Heiskanen with it again. Banks it back towards the blue line. Leafs trying to get it out. Matthews knocked his man down, and Tanev will backhand it down the ice. Take your trading to the next level. A $0 commission on stocks. Brought on now by Heiskanen. He drops the puck back, carried into the zone by Hintz. Drop pass and a shot. That deflected wide of the goal. Stars get it back to the blue line once more to Heiskanen. Heiskanen off on the right wing side for Robertson. Robertson gets the pass back. Jason Robertson down low. Looking for a shot. Blocked and deflected into the crest of Joseph Woll, who has faced 13 Dallas shots. And the Leafs and the Stars are deadlocked at a goal.
I'll show you how tough it is times to put together back-to-back great seasons. Jason Robertson, a two-time 40-goal scorer until last year, didn't get 30, and this year's only on pace for about 20.
Here are the Stars with it again. Trying to work it back on the boards. Taken down by David Camp, but the puck stays in. Onto the near side. Trying to get free is Stankoven. A pass in front was intercepted. Leafs failed to clear it the first time, but do the second. And down the ice it'll go with less than a minute in the period. And 50 seconds now left in the power play. Brought out now by Duchesne. Matt Duchesne on the left wing for Marchment. Marchment carries down into the corner. They scrum it up along the boards. The puck comes free, but a bad pass gets out past the defense all the way back into Dallas territory.
Well, Dallas will miss especially Tyler Seguin when it comes to the power play. He's out 4 to 6 months.
Miro Heiskanen plays the point on both groups on the power play. Now he's got to play some defense because Marner has the puck out at center. He's got McCabe rushing to the front of the net, but the pass was intercepted, and now an odd man rush going the other way. Dadonov in over the line, but he had it knocked away by Morgan Riley. Puck back along the boards into the slot area for Heiskanen. 1 second left, and the long shot is handled by Woll to stop play.
Boy, a number of turnovers by the Leafs right in the Dallas Stars' end. That's what led to the Dallas goal that opened the scoring. And that forced Joseph Woll to come up with 2 more really big stops off Mason Marchment right in front of the Leaf net. Now, if it gets through, Jake McCabe's got a great opportunity to score on the Marner pass. It goes off his skate, past Matthews. And the Leafs are lucky the 3-on-1 the other way didn't result in a Dallas score.
So the Maple Leafs and the Stars are tied at 1, but the shots are heavily favored by the Dallas Stars, 14-4 in the first period. Our first period intermission coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Tis the season to be jamming. With the channel stuffed full of holiday hip-hop and R&B from the 90s to now. In the winter wonderland. Take your gift wrapping to a whole new level. Jingle Jams. One of dozens of holiday channels available anytime in the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Score!
24/7 hockey talk.
Understand.
Another shot, red and blocked. Another chance. Game over. Bless you, boys. What a game. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel. The kid's on fire. They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Marner
for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Game on his stick.
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. We make that next step. How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Bouncing puck that Domi is able to restore. He's got Robertson going to the front of the net, and the shot by Domi, he scores! Max Domi ending his drought the other night and has banged in another one here tonight, and it's tied at a goal. And that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. Dallas 1, Toronto 1. TSN After 20 is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you 1-1, and that's flattering, isn't it?
It is, and they should be thanking their lucky stars or their lucky wall as he stepped up and really weathered the storm that was the Dallas Stars. And he made some big saves, especially at the end there on Dadonov and Marshman with the rebound as well in the power play. So he's showed up tonight, but I can't say the same about a lot of this Maple Leafs team. So again, it's tough. I've played in Dallas numerous times. It's a gloomy building. The ice isn't that great. You see some pucks, bouncing all over the place, and they have some good restaurants. So maybe they didn't get all their sleep last night, but again, it just at this point there's no excuses. You have to step up in today's NHL and perform for 82 games, and through one they should be lucky that they're coming out now tied 1-1, especially after those power plays, back-to-back power plays in 2-3 minutes there. They easily could have been down 3-1 and playing from behind through 20 minutes.
Yeah, those two penalties pretty well killed the last 5 minutes of the first period and tilt it in the other direction. So let's go to the headline story. The big line had a shot on goal. What did you make of their performance?
Well, 25% of the offense, I guess, right? One of the 4 shots, too. But Craig Berube said they need to be playing direct hockey, getting pucks on net, playing simple, but I don't think they've been doing that. It started with a couple costly turnovers. You saw on the goal against a bit of a misread between Austin Matthews and McCabe on, who's the F3, who's going to get back on the back check, and that little ounce of indecision cost them a breakaway and the game's first goal. Nylander's been turning the puck over here and there too. Marner, is coming in on the one time. He pulled up on the entry, lost the puck. So, they're not really buying into that system and the plan for what Craig Berube had in putting them together. So I think right now you saw Craig Berube mentioning, giving it to the guys like, hey guys, you got to pick your game up. You got to find a way to participate and perform in this game. So we'll see how they respond, but not passing marks for me on my end. Through 20 minutes.
No, and oddly enough, the second and third line are noticeable for different reasons. Domi gets the goal, so that line did its job offensively. I like the Tavares, Pacioretty, and Nyes line on the forecheck. They're fairly deadly that way. They had a lot of pressure on Dallas, even though the shot total doesn't show it.
Yeah, and another big hit by Match Pacioretty on Maverick Bourque there, and He looks like a young, Martin back there, just, hitting everything that moves and finding a way to get in the game. And you know what that does in sleepy games like this, hey, here's Pacioretty, who's a guy that scored 30, 40 goals in this league multiple times. He's getting in on the forecheck. He's playing a heavy game, and that sort of wakes the team up as well, too. Matthew Nyes is chipping and chasing, and Tavares is he's been a constant, I believe, for the last 25 games. So they've showed up. You saw the Domi goal, beautiful goal. What I love about that was the Nick Robertson drive there, and Max Domi buying into what Craig Berube said. 9 times out of 10 in games past, that's a sauce pass or it's a missed pass to Robertson going back door. But I think the goalie sort of misread him there, knowing that he typically passes. But it was a great play, forehand, backhand, and then shelved it there. It was an amazing shot there to tie the game.
Yeah, so only 4 shots on goal. That's a bit of a problem. I would expect to see a different version of the Leafs in the second period, right?
I would say, I hope so, but we talked about at the top of the broadcast that they play a stingy defense. I believe they let 16 shots against when they played the St. Louis Blues. I think they've only averaged 21 shots against their last 3 games. This team is prepared. They know what to do. They know how to clog the neutral zone. They always have somebody above the puck, a great F3 exaggerating, but it's the NHL. Toronto does have some talented players. They need to find a way to get pucks on net because the last line of defense is Ottinger, who's one of the top goalies in the NHL. They need to find a way to get at him now often for the last 40 minutes.
So what would you do in that top line? Would you keep it together for another period, or would you break it up?
I talked about it. 82 games, you got to have chemistry. So I got to ride with it for 10 more minutes, at least 10 more minutes. But Craig Berube, what I like about it, it doesn't matter if you're a 4th line or 1st line player, you're going to hear it if you're not performing. So I'm going to be interested to see how their first 2-3 shifts, I could see that being at least 2-3 shifts, maybe one more power play to see how it goes before he's forced to make a change. We hope that's not the case for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, so could you come up with outside of Domi, the best Leaf on the ice? I guess it would be Wall, right?
Wall, head and shoulders, and 14 shots, 13 saves. I counted probably 4 or 5 scoring chances by the Dallas Stars. They had a couple backdoor tap-ins that he got a leg in. He's dialed in. He's fronting the puck. He's finding a way to fight through traffic. And, they got some big boys there. And Jamie Benn, Rupe Hintz, who almost scored as well. Marchment, who's a big body that has a great scoring touch. So he's finding a way to keep this team in the lineup. But, again, it can't be, shots 35-12. It's not going to look for a positive outcome if that's the shots after 60.
And on the Leafs power play, that was tough. They couldn't gain the center ice line.
That was a nothing burger. Yeah. Next question. No, but it's I've been in this exact situation. It's tough to describe how Dallas. It's a tough building to play in, right? And but again, these guys are big, they're fast, they're strong. You saw Heiskin in there with no stick, pinching off a guy there and blocking a potential scoring chance as well. This is a well-coached team, well-oiled machine, and you can see why they're perennial contenders for the Stanley Cup.
You can see why they're 13-3-0 on home ice. That's for sure. So it's tilted in their direction, even though the scoreboard is even. Toronto won, Dallas won after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall, from house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations, from your favorite fuss shop to your local.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. This guy is at soccer practice right now during the game, and so am I in the parking lot hanging out. So thank you for being here and making this awesome place for us to hang out and watch the Leafs together and chat it up. Tom, you going to score some goals tonight at practice?
Probably over 20.
20? Oh, my God. That's a lot. All right, back to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
People sometimes ask, sure, you can consolidate people's debts using telekinesis, but what else can you do? As if changing lives isn't enough. Well, I can also use my power to make it rain hot dogs. It's still not as cool as consolidating debts into one easy payment, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Holy moly.
Santa, welcome to Indigo.
Heather, Indigo's chief book lover, just who I was looking for. I need a perfect book for the book clubbers on my list. Thoughts?
My book club loved Like Mother. It's a rich, delicious to read family saga that will keep everyone talking for hours.
Well, I'm happy I ran into you.
Who's next on your list, Santa?
At Indigo, we've got gifts so special, even Santa shops here.
Right now, get 35% off Crave monthly plans for your first 4 months and start streaming the latest blockbusters like Joker, Folie à Deux.
That's what we should be talking about.
Based on the best-selling novel, It Ends With Us, premieres December 20th.
Now you see me.
Plus the exclusive HBO original, The White Lotus. New season starts February 16th. Catch up now.
I feel like I'm in a dream.
35% off monthly plans for your first 4 months. Ends January 6th. Terms apply. Learn more at crave.ca/Boxing Week. Crave. Endlessly entertaining.
This holiday season, you have the power to make a meaningful difference in your community. Support Trillium Health Partners, and when you donate, your gift will be matched, doubling your impact at your local hospital and allowing countless patients to get a fresh, healthy start to their new year. Together, we can ensure that everyone receives the care they need to thrive. Visit trilliumgiving.ca to donate now and create lasting change that will extend well beyond the holidays.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. 4 of the games, only 1 underway. In Detroit, Red Wings 4, Flyers 2 after 40 minutes of play. Later on tonight, an hour from now, it'll be the Panthers in Minnesota against the Wild. At 10 o'clock, it'll be Vancouver visiting Utah. And also at 10, the Jets visiting the Ducks. In our game, it's tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play. Domi with the Leafs goal. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Dashing through the field on Channel 88. Catch the Sunday drive. Playoffs on the way.
This is Steve Torrey. Happy holidays. As you wrap the presents, make sure you join Bill Leckus and me for the Sunday Drive at noon Eastern for live listen-ins, guests, fantasy analysis, and playoff scenarios around the National Football League.
Touchdown!
It's the Sunday Drive on NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs and the Stars are tied at 1. Steele opening the scoring for Dallas at 5:14 from Back and Stankoven. And then Max Domi scoring for the second consecutive game from Riley and McMahon at 6:13. So 59 seconds later to tie the game at 1. The Leafs' next action is Friday night And we'll be right back here on TSN 1050. And I would suggest that if you had never been to a game in Buffalo, this might be the one you probably are going to get tickets at a bit of a discounted rate, because if that place isn't three-quarters Leaf fans, because of the way the Sabers are going, I would be very surprised. I would love to be down there for sure, because that atmosphere will be electric.
Now, you think even with the Canadian-U.S. dollar exchange?
Ah, the heck with it. It's Christmas time, Mr. Ralph. Come on.
Oh, we're talking cheaper.
Well, this is somebody's Christmas present.
And it would
not mine.
And it would still be cheaper.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Yeah. Even though our dollar has gone into the tank. But anyway, that's another story for another broadcast on another station and another election.
With smarter people.
And you and I, yes. Sure. Bring that up. Bring that up. Second period brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it. Joseph Wall to the right. And Jake Ottinger is to the left as we get set to start the second period from the American Airlines Arena. And the puck is dropped and we're underway. Leafs still a man short as it's played out at center. Now chipped in by Timmins, who's out of the penalty box, and it's down into the corner. Riley unable to reach it. Nylander out with Marner and Matthews. So far, the experiment hasn't been all that great, and now it's -2. Evgeny Dadonov comes in off the left wing on a rather innocent-looking play and snaps it over the shoulder of Joseph Wall, and the Stars have a 2-1 lead. Matthews, Marner, and Nylander are -2.
Yeah, a little bit of back pressure, Joe, but Morgan Riley ends up backing in on top of Joseph Wall. Dadonov makes a move from his right to his left, or towards the left wing side, being a left-handed shot, and he snaps that. Short side over the right shoulder of Joseph Wall. Both goals that Dallas has scored have been blocker side, bar down on Joseph Wall, and you're right, the Leafs super line right now isn't looking too super.
8th goal of the season for Dadonov. It comes 22 seconds into the period.
And that started with Jamie Benn just firing it up the left wing boards. I mean, it was a nothing play.
Leafs get it to the line and in. Left wing side, McCabe fed in for Tavares. Tavares couldn't come up with it. The puck is pushed along the boards, and the Stars will get it out at center, and the Leafs send it right back in again. Into the corner now. A centering pass for Pacioretty was blocked as Tavares heads to the bench. Here's Nyes working around back of the net. Came out in front. Got a weak backhand away that was nowhere near anyone. And then when it was rung around the boards, Connor Timmins couldn't keep it in. And it's all the way down into the Toronto end. 2-1 Dallas. Timmins getting it up on the left wing for Benoit. Ahead for Nick Robertson, who sends it in. McMahon in against the boards. Robertson couldn't come up with it, and it's played high to center ice, and a delayed offside is called after Marchment got leveled at the blue line, and then was it Benoit who ended up getting leveled after the fact, and Marchment is having difficulties getting back up on his skates.
Might have been a bit of a cross-check as Marchment was waiting for the puck to get back down to the ice as it was flipped up. He's up looking for it, and you know what? Connor Timmins, he took a cross-checking penalty earlier.
That was not near as good as that one.
No, this was right in the lower back. And Marchment then trying to get up with the aid of his stick. Had his stick break, and back down he went. But for Connor Timmins,
well,
took a bit of a weak call in the first period and got away with a doozy here in the second.
Yes, he did. Well, Marchment's gotten himself a new stick and is back on. Faceoff was down in the Dallas zone on the offside as the puck comes out into the center ice area. And it is set in then by David Kampf. Reeves trying to get a hit in on Brendan Smith to no avail. And Buck along the boards for Kampf. Tried to get it back for McCabe. He keeps it in. Down into the corner. Lorenz with a hit there on Perovic, and it comes out at center ice, and the Leafs have to go back into their own zone. McCabe working up the left wing board. Shoots it in around the wall. It comes to the side of the net. Ottinger tipping it back of the goal. Fed to the far side. Gobbled up there by Oscar Back, and he gets it out at center. Here the Stars in over the line. Back trying to come away with it on the far boards. Pinned to the wall there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Domi kicked it towards the back of the net, but Sam Steele cut it off. Steele gets it back to the point. Kept alive on the far side. Lyubushkin works down. Now tries to center, and it was picked off there by Robertson. And Domi stops up and then gets the puck up on the left wing, but out of the reach of Riley. And then Riley gets caught. Lyubushkin trying to center, and a goal! That was up. There's a scramble in front of the net, and it's knocked into the corner. Stars trying to regroup again. Pass into the slot area, and knocked away there as Lyubushkin crept in from the right side. Then Riley knocked Lyubushkin flying. Puck in the far corner. Stars still onto it. Dallas Stars back of the net. Trying to work along the boards. Stars still with it as they fed it back in along into the corner. Out of the net comes goaltender Wall to play it to Riley, and Riley trying to elevate it out. Has it blocked there by Heiskanen, who was just coming off the bench. Now the Leafs have iced the puck, and a tired group's going to remain out there.
Boy, shots on goal 18-4. Favoring the Dallas Stars, and we're not even near the midway mark of the second period. But the number of turnovers, Joe, has been atrocious from a Leafs standpoint.
Wow, good opportunity there, and Wall was able to get out and get a piece of leather on that puck to keep it out. Draw to his right. Domi leaning in to take the faceoff, and it's an important one. They've been on for a minute 15, and a shot deflects and bounces all the way out and down into Dallas territory, affording the Leafs the chance to change. Quickly fed by Lindell. In on the right side. Johnston trying to work the boards. Drops it off there for Dadonov. That didn't work. The Leafs are out at center and played to the line by Pacioretty, but he doesn't get it into the zone. Left wing side and a drop pass here. The Stars back in. Intercepted by Morgan Riley. Played off the boards. Cut off again by Dadonov to the near side. Trying to get a pass into the slot area. And it's off a stick, and Pacioretty will circle the puck and bring it out at center ice. He'll shoot it in wide and around the boards to the right wing side. Knives into the forecheck. Not able to put any pressure on it. And Dadonov has it at center. Played in on the backhand and into the zone for Wyatt Johnston. He's a Toronto boy, Johnston is. Played with the Toronto Marlboro organization in his minor hockey days. As the Stars get it to center and deflect it down into the Toronto end. Nylander swinging it around the boards to the right wing side. Gets a return pass on left wing. Brought in over the line with Matthews. Took a shot that hit a leg and went wide. Nylander trying to reverse the puck for Matthews. It doesn't work. Pinch along the boards. Nylander trying to get to it. Marner can't either. Comes back to the point. D to D for Ekman-Larsson. Shot in traffic. Went off a body and went harmlessly wide. Cleared out at center ice. And now a breakaway opportunity for Hintz. In on goal. Big save by Wall. Oh my. Tanev got trapped. And so did the Leaf defense. Now Marner falls down and a shot is stopped. Marner trying to get it out. He gets it out at center. And now Matthews to the line. Flipping in for Nylander. In a goal. He scores.
Sometimes it pays off when life isn't fair. 19-5 now, the shots favoring the Stars. The Leafs' number one line get caught again in their own end. Turnovers, multiple chances against. But in a split second, Willie Nylander finds some room after an Austin Matthews pass and walks in the right wing side. Mitch Marner's the one that fired it out of the Leafs zone to center to Matthews. He actually had his back towards the Dallas net at center ice when he got it, and then just chipped it over to Willie Nylander, who skated into it, beat a man wide, and snapped it high over the left shoulder of Ottinger. And, well, I mean, it's an improbable 2-2 game in Dallas.
And if you're the jury, there's Robertson for the Leafs and over the line. Stole the puck again, got a shot away, and scores! Nicky Robertson gives the Leafs the lead. If that first goal was improbable, this is bordering on impossible.
Jason and Nick's parents in attendance in Dallas. They're cheering with Mom wearing a Dallas Stars jersey. As Nick picks up a loose puck in the high slot, just turns and spins as he fires it towards the net through his screen. And it goes through Jake Ottinger. Like I said, Jake Ottinger, Joe, only 3 times this year has given up more than 3 goals in a game. The Leafs have 3 on 6 shots.
16 seconds apart. Nylander and Robertson. And Nick Robertson with his 4th goal of the season. And the Leafs take the lead for the first time. As we get an icing call here.
My goodness.
So I was about to ask you about the jury. So we have the jury on for the number 1 line, who are 0 for 2, right? -2. Now they break out, and Nylander scores, so now they're -1. But I didn't get a chance to get your response before Robertson gave the Leafs the lead.
There's that one juror, right?
Yes.
That's saying, nope. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. No, I don't think he did it. You don't believe the smoking gun? No, I don't. Here's Tavares in across the line. Had it knocked off his stick. Puck comes free. Here's Pacioretty. Couldn't get around the last defender to get a shot. And it's back out into the center ice area. So the Leafs have been outshot 20-6. But half of their 6 shots have found a way to get in behind Jake Ottinger. And it is 3-2 Toronto. Here's David Campion. Oh, pass on the right side. And a high stick catching Nyes. And the official showing a blind eye to it as Nyes gets to the Leaf bench. Shot deflects wide of the Toronto goal. Knocked down on the play is Sam Steele. Leafs trying to break it out at center, and Pacioretty's away. Up on the right side for Lorenz. Closing with a pass for Morgan Rielly, and it was out of his reach. Rielly sends it high and wide of the goal. Reeves trapping at the far boards and sending it back behind the net. And the Stars will just elevate it to center to get out into neutral ice and get a change started. Leafs with a long up, trying to get in over the line for Matthews. Matthews with a little move. Oh, and a good save made there by Ottinger's right pad. Off the move by Matthews to get to the forehand. Blackwell trying to get across the line, but it's going to be...
That'll be a penalty.
Well, the linesman had his hand up as an offside, and Benoit is...
It's going to be a holding call. But same referee... If Matthew Nyes did, in fact, take a high stick to the face, the official that missed that made this call. To me, it's the right call.
So, Benoit to the penalty box. 3rd power play of the game for the Stars coming up. The penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V...
How you doing tonight, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Dallas Stars. The Leafs head south to Texas. Where are you watching from tonight with us here on Toronto Sports Insider? Let us know in the chat if you're watching in Toronto, you're watching somewhere across Canada. Let me see those awesome Canada flag emojis. As well, United States, anybody in the U.S., I know we have lots of people in the United States, including myself, as well as all over the world. So many people gather here to hang out and listen to our buds play and cheer them on with the best community on YouTube. Now let's get back to the hockey. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go!
XL, Molson, everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
A Tim's Donut and Coffee is the original collab. And right now in Toronto, any classic donut is $1 when you buy any size original or dark roast coffee. Get a deal on the iconic duo with a Tim's Dollar Donut. Plus tax at participating restaurants in Toronto for limited time. Terms apply. See app for details.
TSN and TSN Plus take you courtside, showcasing the NBA's biggest stars.
Bang!
From opening tip through the NBA Finals,
Anything's possible.
the NBA lives on TSN and TSN Plus.
Craig Berube upset about the non-call on Matthew Nyes, who took the high stick from Blackwell. And then Benoit.
Blackwell draws the penalty at the other end.
And then Blackwell, yes, draws the penalty as Benoit is off for holding.
Is it just me, or does the puck seem to be bouncing a lot, too? Sometimes.
I don't know.
Any arenas that have football, basketball, and hockey. Yeah,
you're in Texas, too. That it really isn't conducive to making good ice, I wouldn't think.
Well, the Cowboys may want to try playing there.
Well, they can't win at the other spot, so why not? Puck down in the Dallas zone, finally out at center, but the Leafs intercept and get it off to Marner, and Marner is taking it all the way back in his own zone before feeding it ahead to Matthews. Matthews decides to play it back into his own zone. That's grabbed off by McCabe, and he's going to wire it, and it's going to deflect and go up into the screen, or out of play anyway, off a stick, and so it'll come back with the Leafs a man short for the third time in the game. Benoit in the box for holding.
And fortunately, Matthew Nyes back out here in the penalty kill with David Camp. He was doubled over, holding his face after taking a high stick from Blackwell.
11:50 to go in the period. Minute 4 to go in this power play. Brought on at center by Matt Duchene. Got it in on the left wing. Drop pass, gobbled up partially, but then maintained by Dallas. They try to spread things out. Back to the point it comes. Here's Heiskanen with a shot deflected wide of the goal and into the corner. Centering back for Dadonov into the slot area. Down low, back in front of the goal, and a shot by Bork was deflected back towards the blue line. Looking for Bork again as it comes back to Dadonov, but he can't keep the puck in as it bounced over his stick and comes to center. Played back down into the Toronto end. And they're going to call it icing, and the Leafs are going to catch a break here with 29 seconds to go in the power play, as it'll come all the way back into the Dallas end of the rink.
Well, if you were tuned in, if this was the first game you've ever seen, you said, boy, these are considered two of the top teams in the National Hockey League. Top 7 or 8. And then watch their power play and try to explain it. And I'm saying both sides have really chopped it up with the man advantage so far. The Leafs, so just one power play on the night so far.
Brought out at center ice by Stankoven, in across the line, fed by Bork around into the corner. Leafs draw a crowd in there, and Tanev battling for it along with Jake McCabe as it comes back to Heiskanen at the blue line. Works it back. Now Heiskanen gets it again off the left point, works into the half boards and into the corner. Now round back of the net with it. Off on the wing, a pass into the slot area. Oh, and it was whistled wide of the goal. That is the area where you would really have to hit the net, and Stankoven missed it, and the Leafs are going to get it out, and the penalty is expired. Leafs 3 for 3 in the penalty kill. Played in over the line by Marner, trying to work into the corner, ran into the official. Pretty good check by Marner on the referee. Maybe that was for Matthew Nyes.
Yeah.
Heiskanen back in his own zone. Through center for Brendan Smith. Couldn't get around Timmins. Puck down in the far corner in the Leaf zone. Battling for it as it's chipped back of the net. Timmins trying to free it up there for Morgan Riley. Riley couldn't tip it. Now coming out in front of the net. Oh, and instead of taking it to the front of the net, Blackwell passed it off, and that ruined the chance. He could have stepped right out in front of the goal, could he have not? Leafs are able to push the puck ahead. Pacioretty gets it off Nylander, stick at center. Nylander is upended, and the puck turned over. Here's Dallas back in over the line. A bit of a stumble, and then a chance in front of the net, and down went the Dallas player as Steele was taken down trying to drive the net. Pacioretty shoots it back into Dallas territory.
Yeah, guys falling all over the place. You saw Mitch Marner fall his last shift out 5-on-5.
Benoit deflects it down into Dallas territory. Half of the period is in the books. And the Leafs with a 3-2 lead on 7 shots Puck intercepted now by Nick Robertson. On the wing for Bobby McMahon. Scores! The Leafs shooting percentage is through the roof as they now lead 4-2 on 8 shots on goal.
And this line has been incredible. Domi, McMahon, and Nick Robertson. As Robertson picks off the neutral zone pass and quickly turns it back the other way. A little backhand feed to Bobby McMahon going the other way. McMahon races into the left wing circle, goes far side on Ottinger, and this is just one of those shots, Joe, over the glove, or under the glove, over the left pad. And Bobby McMahon is as hot as anyone else on his line as the Leafs have doubled their lead.
Unbelievable. The Robertson goal was unassisted. But they are scoring at a 50% rate.
On Jake Ottinger, considered one of the best in the league.
Marner dropping the puck back. McCabe with a bank pass off a stick to Marner. Left wing feed. Here's a shot taken there by Matthews. Oh, it rolled to the goal line. The official said it didn't go over the line. Matthews had raised his stick.
He was far enough away from it that he couldn't reach to tap it the rest of the way over the line. He could just watch and hope as it ticked off the inside of the post and laid on the goal line.
Brought back the other way. Casey DeSmith is the other goaltender for Dallas. Brought in over the line now by the Stars. They get it into the slot. A shot blocked there by Timmins. Carried into the corner then by Marchment. Along the boards, the Stars trying to get it back to the point, and they do. Here's a chance to shoot it for Perovic. That was deflected wide of the goal. Another shot by Perovic. That was blockered away there nicely by Wall. Another shot, and Wall has caught this one. 23 shots on goal now for Toronto. 8, or at least for the Stars, 8 for the Maple Leafs. Oh, that puck. Yes, fluttering along the line, wasn't it?
Yep. Matthews was stopped on the first shot, got the rebound, swatted it towards the goal, and it just spun on edge all the way to the goal line before it was swept away.
Robertson, the lone assist on the McMahon goal. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's Carrie's country. You're just living in it.
You can tell Carrie's in her element. These are her people. This is what...
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's listening to the best call in the business, Joe Bowen, on the radio for the Leafs and the Stars. Are you a subscriber? Are you an insider? Have you hit that subscribe button yet? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it. We go live every single Toronto sports event that happens. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you for becoming an insider. And to all of the insiders up to now, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button at some point along the way. Go Leafs, go.
Schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only 2 players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The Leafs with a 4-2 lead with 7:33 left to play in the second period. Stars have controlled the faceoff and go wide around back of the net with Oscar Bach. Trying to get it freed up. Stolen back by the Leafs. Can't get it ahead for David Camp. It's pinned up against the boards. The Leafs trying to win for the 7th straight time in Dallas. There's a shot that was blocked away by Wall. Played into the corner. 25 shots on goal now for Dallas. Puck still in the Toronto end. Back of the net. Tanev takes it up against the boards. It's drawn 5 players in there to try and dig it free, and they do. And it's Lorenz who skates it out. Lorenz trying to flip it ahead for Reeves. Reeves just knocked it in over the line, but no further. And the Stars get it back to the Toronto blue line as both teams are changing. Oliver Ekman-Larsson dropping it off for Tanev. He has difficulties with it, but he's able to play it back behind his goal to his defense partner. And Ekman-Larsson gets it lifted through center ice and down into Dallas territory.
How comfortable are you feeling with a 2-goal lead right now?
Can you see the perspiration from there? Puck in the corner in the Toronto zone. Nyes pushes it ahead, and here's Tavares trying to one-hand it in over the line. When he didn't get it the first time, it put the play offside, and Pacioretty and Bixel having a little push and shove session.
A little bit of a late hit coming after the whistle. But what's been odd about the Leafs, 5-6-2 on the road so far this season, and last year this group set a franchise record for most wins away from home. 24 wins, 23 the year before, 24 last year, as they were much more dominant away from home than they were at home in long stretches last year. And this year is the opposite. But to get 4 on Jake Ottinger in a game is a huge deal, but to do it by the time you hit this point of the second period and only on 9 shots is startling and obviously a rarity.
Delightful.
Yes.
There's another adjective. And secondary scoring. This line, Domi, McMahon, and Robertson have all scored here tonight. And it's backhanded into the bench area, and it'll be brought back.
And pretty well documented that Max Domi had not scored until Sunday against Buffalo. But the other side of that, Joe, was he'd gone 16 games without a point. And when you talked about needing production from the bottom 6, I think a lot of that centered around Max Domi, but for a game and a half, along with line mates Nick Robertson and Bobby McMahon, they've been able to do it.
Played down into the zone, and off the boards it comes to center. Stars don't get it in. Robertson through center ice, got it in over the line, works down into the corner to try and get around Bixel. It comes back in behind the net and off the boards. Domi trapping, tried to get it to the side of goal. He did, and the centering pass by McMahon was out of the reach of Robertson. Brought back now by Dallas. Through center ice to the line, and in Dadonov, dropping it off for Jamie Benn. Benn gets it around back of the net. Dadonov couldn't come up with it. Leafs are able to skate it back out at center, and it is sent easily by McCabe into Dallas territory. Heiskanen starting back the other way. Got it up on the left wing. Timmins partially blocked the pass. Now Riley back of the net trying to scoop it around the boards as it go off the glass and into the screen. And another face-off coming in the Toronto zone as a result. We should tell you that Trevor Hansen and Tom Chmielewski are the referees tonight. Matt McPherson and Tommy Hughes are the linesmen. Leafs 4, Stars 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca, a Fanatics experience.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. This guy is at soccer practice right now during the game, and so am I in the parking lot hanging out. So thank you for being here and making this awesome place for us to hang out and watch the Leafs together and chat it up. Tom, you going to score some goals tonight at practice?
Probably over 20.
20? Oh, my God. That's a lot. All right, back to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Get only 99 cents a pound. Plus, get a free Lindt carousel for every $300 spent. 'Tis the season to find more legendary ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. Conditions apply. See Fly for details.
Buy gifts with MasterCard Click to Pay faster than your family can unwrap them. Get 4% CT money when you use your Triangle MasterCard on qualifying purchases at Canadian Tire, Sport Check, and Marks. Conditions apply to collecting CT money. Visit triangle.com for details.
Leafs with an improbable 4-2 advantage. Goals from Domi, Nylander, Robertson, and McMahon. Despite being outshot 24-9, have a 4-2 lead. Played down into Dallas territory. Ottinger playing it down into the corner. Heiskanen tried to play it along the boards. Matthews broke it up. Now Matthews trying to get it back towards the blue line. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson couldn't keep it in for him. Back come the Stars on the left wing. Cross the line. Good play by Tanev to break it up, and the Leafs are breaking. Here's Matthews across the line. Flipped it off now on the wing from Marner. Couldn't get it in front of the net. Nylander after it in the near corner. Matthews trying to help out. Marner comes out of the scrum with it, though, as he works back towards the blue line. Little fake back into the slot area for Ekman-Larsson. A shot. Rebound in front of the goal. And it's knocked high to center ice and down into the Leaf end by the Stars on a scramble in front of Ottinger that looked like it might trickle into the goal. Leafs get a change of players. Tavares line back on for Toronto. Pacioretty and Nyes with him. Nyes against the boards in the near corner. The dynamic of all three lines is so different. As here's Timmins trying to get it to the net, but he set it well wide. Pacioretty and Tavares after it in the near boards as it's cleared high to center ice. Timmins back for Nyes. They'll regroup in the center ice area. And off Tavares, he can't get it in deep. Brought back by Oscar Back, who sends it down into the Leaf end. Benoit scooping it along the boards. It'll come up on the wing, and the Leafs are out at center with Nyes working in on that left wing. Nyes tried to get a shot away, didn't deliver it though. Got it down into the corner. The scrum is on with Nyes up against the boards, and now Reeves coming on to add some assistance. This is taking a while, but now it's finally dug free, and the puck goes around to the far side, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson sends it right back in. Played high to center ice. OEL gets it up on the left wing, and it's tipped in by McKay. Ottinger has to wait for it to get into the trapezoidal areas. It's cleared around the boards to center. Leafs are going to shoot it right back in again. Ottinger back of the goal, giving it to his defenseman this time, and it's played high to center ice and shot into the Toronto zone. Round back of the net, Wall off the skates of Riley, played back for his defense partner Timmins. Timmins gets away from one forecheck, springs it ahead, and now David Camp sends a long shoot in that is gloved eye high by Ottinger. And he's going to hang on to bring a face-off in the Dallas zone with 2:29 to play in the second period. And the Leafs leading 4-2.
Willie Nylander, providing this screen in front. And he and Lindell ended up in behind Ottinger. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson shot from the left point. He walked in about 10 feet before he let it go.
That would have been a difficult goal, maybe not to have some kind of goalie interference called.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for Ottinger.
A shot by Marner, blockered away by Ottinger. Nylander in the corner. Marner trying to block a clearing attempt. Matthews kept the puck in. Down into the corner for Nylander. Coming out from it in front of the goal. And he tried to go top shelf, and it went off the shoulder of Ottinger. Willie was late coming out, and Matthews made a great play right at the blue line to keep the puck in. Lead pass to center, broken up by the Leaf defense. And Timmins having a little difficulties with it there. Riley gets it across the line. Nylander into the corner, muscles his way along the board, sends it back to Morgan Riley. Riley looking to go D to D. Nope, sends it around back of the net into the far corner. Nick Robertson after it as the Leafs are in the midst of a change. And it's iced now by Dallas with 1:37 to play in the second period. And before we were so rudely interrupted with those two goals so quickly apart, I wanted to get your assessment of what the most expensive line in hockey was doing here tonight.
Are you talking about the Matthews line?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's. I think they've gotten better as the game has gone on, but obviously the number of opportunities they've gave up on the rush, including both Dallas goals, is probably unacceptable to Craig Berube.
The Leafs in it, the offensive zone. Here's Robertson getting it back to the point. A shot deflected wide of the net from Jake McCabe. Puck in the far corner. Robertson diligently after it, but the Stars are going to lift it high into the center ice area and down into Toronto's end of the rink. Chris Tanev circles the goal, and the Toronto native brings it out. Tanev to the red line, and in it goes with 1:06 to go in the period. Swept around the boards, cut off by Robertson into the corner. Robertson trying to play it back of the net for Max Domi. He was too well covered there by Brendan Smith, and the Stars get it down into the Leaf end without icing. Played around back of the net for Timmins. Timmins gets it up on the wing. Leafs trying to get it out, but it was deflected by Robertson this time, and Jamie Benn couldn't keep it in the zone. Now the Stars deflect it back down into Toronto territory, but from the wrong side of center. And with 38.3 seconds remaining in the second period, there'll be a face-off deep in Dallas territory.
The strange thing about this Domi, Robertson, McMahon line working is when you consider Domi was out 8 games with an injury, McMahon was out 9 with an injury before the Buffalo game. Nick Robertson was a healthy scratch for 4 straight games. So if you're wondering why it's a new line, it's because they're new to the lineup.
New to the lineup, yep. Played down into the Toronto zone. Is there a delayed offside? I believe I heard some hollering, and now I get to see the linesman's arm. So it is a delayed offside as it's played down into Dallas territory. Nice with a hit on the forecheck. 16 seconds left in the period. Leafs just need to play kitty bar the door here just to maintain the 2-goal lead going to the third period. And across the line, though, the Stars get in with a shot. That was deflected high. It's going to carry them all the way up, and I believe hit the clock.
Yeah.
The linesman saying so. A face-off will come in the Toronto zone with 1.8 seconds left in the period.
Never seen that before. Linesman pointing straight up.
Well, he got it right.
Might be saying to the Leafs should thank the heavens for a 4-2 lead after
I would
2
suggest.
periods. Boy, that was Max Patch already.
He hit that like a baseball, and up she went.
It was kind of a high breaking ball.
How long have you waited to do that?
Well, I just thought of it now, so I wasn't really waiting.
Did you have the rice peel off too? Draw to the right is won by the Leafs, and that'll end the period.
Well, the Leafs, at least they give them credit for this, Joe, is once they got the lead, they did not give up as much to the Dallas Stars the rest of the period. But you've got to be thrilled. We can talk all we want about the Matthews and Marner being teamed with Willie Nylander, but it's another line that has stolen the show for the Leafs now in back-to-back games.
Well, when the Leafs have scored 3 or more, they're 18-0-1 this season. They have scored 4 on the Dallas Stars and have a 4-2 lead after 40 minutes of play. Anthony Stewart joining Jim Taddy. When we return, you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Tiger is back!
Tiger Woods is returning to the golf course with his son Charlie in the PNC Championship.
Eagle has landed! A big fist pump for the big Tiger!
Hear all the coverage right now on PGA Tour Radio.
His golf swing, in my opinion, is as good as it's ever been. I've never seen it cleaner. I've never seen it easier on his body ever.
up. The kid's on fire. They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Minor in over the line looking for Sabers.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Score!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
And suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. So we make that next step. How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Here's Robertson for the Leafs and over the line. Stole the puck again. Got a shot away and scores! Nicky Robertson gives the Leafs the lead. If that first goal was improbable, this is bordering on impossible. The go-ahead goal. Now it's 4-2 for the Leafs over Dallas after 40 minutes of play. TSN After 40 brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com is where you go for that deal. Let's see. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart here analyzing what has been, well, the secondary scoring is now the primary scoring, isn't it?
100%, and great job by Craig Berube finding lightning in the bottle with the Max Domi line here, and they just seem to find a way to keep momentum, get it, find each other on the ice, and it started with Nick Robertson and just sort of not overskating the puck, sticking with it, and finding a way to put the puck through the net, and then 15 seconds later, you got McMahon as well coming down on a breakaway. So it's been a great period by that third line too. And what happens now when you have 3 lines that are going, it's tough to match up because there's all that depth on that Maple Leafs front line. So great job too by the Matthews line in responding after a pretty struggling first period there too. So through 40 minutes, it's almost been a topsy-turvy game where you try to analyze that, and they're just finding a way to get things done. And when you play the system and stick to it, only 8 shots that period, 12 through 2 periods, to be up now 4-2. They got to be thanking their lucky stars, and I'm sure we're going to touch on Wall too, but he's kept them in the game, and he's the main reason why, coupled with that third line, while they're up 4-2 going into the third period.
So just before we leave the third line, what's the best Robertson moment, where he's the decoy on the first goal, where he scores the third goal of the game, or where he sets up on a steal McMahon for the 4-2 goal?
I think it's got to be the steal, because it's, for him, it's doing those little things right. And you heard Craig Berube talk about that. It's not about the points. It's not about the goals. It's playing the game the right way. He's got 3 hits, 3 shots, and he turned that puck over at the blue line where he could easily just put on cruise control on the back check. But he got it, stole the puck, and they made a beautiful backhand pass to McMahon, who had great speed and ripping it too. So, sometimes when you're on. They're finding a way to be involved on the score sheet. But every shift that period, they were doing something noticeable on both ends of the puck. And that's what it is. It's just, sometimes you have the coach that has the system and you play it and you sort of, believe in it, but there's a trust and a natural belief in the system, and it's leading to, leads in games and ultimately wins.
Well, let's talk about Wall, who was stopped, 23-25 at the other end. Ottinger has 8 saves, 4 goals on 12 shots. I mean, it's not that he's playing bad. I mean, those are good goals, but Wall is playing good, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe, Ottinger was out with the Leafs last night in the first period and maybe left a little bit early and he's feeling the ill effects. But, I've been waiting to say this now for, 8 years of my media career. The TSN turning point was that breakaway save on Rupe Hintz there, where that would have made it 3-1, and then Toronto would have every opportunity and every reason to fold and say, tonight's not our night. But Woll kept him in the game. He made some big saves in that first period. Yes, he did let one in on the Dadonov 22 seconds of the second, but he responded and did not quit, and the rest of the team followed suit. He's the leader in this game. He's the reason why they're up through 40 minutes.
Great to see Bobby McMahon score as well. That was just a great shot.
I'm impressed every single game. He finds a way. And what's great about him, it doesn't matter which line he's on. It doesn't change his game. He is a pro's pro. He goes out there, he works, he creates his own offense, and he just needs an inch. You saw that, on that goal there. He created separation with that speed, and it's almost like he's one of the most underrated players in the league. And I know we're Leaf-centric here, and it's a little bit biased in saying that, but, when defenders see him, they're like, yeah, he's big. He looks kind of, oh, no, he's got to step on me. He's going in on a breakaway. He's just sneaky, and he finds a way to create separation, and ultimately he has that great release, and he can shoot the puck, as you can see in him burying his 7th of the year 11 minutes into the second period.
Well, let's talk about the Nylander goal, because this is a reason why you can't turn your back on that line. They'll kill you. I mean, that was a pure skill goal.
Yeah, and it wasn't their night, but great job with a pass and letting that play develop in the neutral zone with Austin Matthews. He didn't just chip it in. He waited for Nylander to get a little bit of speed, and he put an area pass for Nylander to skate into it. And, Nylander's one of those guys that is sneaky fast, too. He's just coming down Main Street. Oh, I got a breakaway here. Let me put it top shelf. So, you see the extreme talent, and you see that first period. You're always wanting a little bit more. But when he turns it on and he's engaged and he's participating in every single shift, he can dominate games. So that line, again, it wasn't the best first period, but they found a way to respond, and they have the ability to take over games, but they got them back in the game, and I'm sure Craig Berube is happier with their response from the first period.
Let's talk about the story that's sort of buried here, the penalty kill. They've killed off 3 power plays, the Leafs have. The first 2 in the first period, the last 5 minutes of that period, they were lucky to escape 1-1, but the penalty kill helped them. The penalty kill in the second period and the Benoit penalty is after they take a 3-2 lead, and that's a key moment as well, isn't it?
It's been amazing all year, and it's kind of funny that Dallas was calling for 2 more penalties. How many do you guys want? You want 9 power plays? Stop crying. But it's been amazing. Wall's been making some big saves, but I'm noticing Tanev and Benoit, they're blocking shots. OEL's in front of the net, boxing guys out too. So just collectively, and let's not discount the forwards. They're playing a great system. They're closing off lanes. They're getting in front of shots. They're pushing the pace. And sometimes they're keeping that power play sort of on their heels because they have the ability to stretch the zone, or if they turn over a puck going on the opposition rush with any mistakes that the power play makes. So it's been great. It's been great all year. And, you don't lose momentum with that penalty kill, and it's finding ways to keep them in games and ultimately keep the momentum to go back on offense and start to win some of these games as well.
Stu, thanks very much. 4-2 for the Leafs over Dallas after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and yes, Guy, the Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping.
Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
I like Christmas shopping.
Needs to hear gift ideas.
I have so many to buy for.
And the best bargains.
I shop local.
Who's nearby?
It's hectic, but it's fun.
And what their hours are.
I try not to leave it till the last minute.
Daily reminders.
But Christmas Eve, I'm always shopping for someone.
Last minute ideas.
I listen to the radio even more this time of year.
Holiday traditions. Be where anyone who needs you can meet you. Be on the radio. Your customers are already here.
Hey, it's Brian Hayes, and I've got to tell you why Planet Fitness works for me, and I know it will work for you. First and foremost, it's safe, clean, and a breeze to get in and out of because I use the Planet Fitness mobile app. And with most gyms being open 24/7 and the crowd meter feature on the app, I can work out on my schedule, not the gym schedule. So sign up today at planetfitness.ca or pop into any of the dozens of locations throughout the GTA and get back in the gym at Planet Fitness.
10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, we founded a sisterhood.
Crave presents the next groundbreaking original series from HBO, Dune Prophecy. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
We have a plan that's connecting Ontario. We're leading the largest transit expansion in North America. New projects like the Ontario Line Subway and Hazel McCallion Light Rail will relieve overcrowding, with the Scarborough and Yonge North subways connecting more communities, and expanding GO Transit with more trips, faster train service, and two-way all-day service. Also, you can get around faster, safer, easier. See what we're building in your community at ontario.ca/builds. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
The holiday Big Check event is on now at Sport Check. From December 12th to 24th, shop savings up to 60% off. Find amazing deals on top brands such as Nike, Under Armour, Oakley, Columbia, and more. Say it with sport this holiday season.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. One other game, now it's now done in Detroit. Red Wings win 6-4 over the visiting Flyers. We've got three other games that haven't started yet. Panthers in Minnesota against the Wild. That's going to start in mere minutes. Later on tonight at 10 o'clock, Canucks in Utah and the Jets in Anaheim also at 10 o'clock. In our game, it's 4-2 for the Leafs over the Stars after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy. The third period is next on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Hear that? Holiday spirit is soaring on the Sirius XM app. With exclusive seasonal specials from Jimmy Fallon.
Thank you so much for listening. I love this time of year.
Christmas Queen, Mariah Carey. Every Monday, deck the halls with a little bit of me. Pentatonics and more. That's Christmas. Plus over 20 pop-up holiday channels full of endless cheer. Just search Holiday to feel the joy on the Sirius XM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
4-2 as of right now, as I've got the game up here in the car. I got to get back to the audio and get back in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go. Big third period ahead. Refill those drinks. Get them ready for the third period. Chat loud. Cheer loud. We'll see you guys. Thanks. Go Leafs, go.
Play on Sirius XM. The best hockey play on Sirius XM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs 4 and the Dallas Stars 2. And Dallas coach Peter DeBoer has decided that Casey DeSmith is going to play the third period after Jake Ottinger allowed 4 goals on 12 shots, which is not a real good save percentage. No. Not even in my Tuesday morning league, which I've given up a lot better than that.
I was going to say. But no, it was just one of those nights that the Leafs were able to find some holes on very few opportunities.
There wasn't a bad goal.
No.
Would you say? No,
through screens. I know the Robertson one probably looks bad, but then the other ones, I think, Joe, got beat off the wing with Domi, beat off the wing with Nylander, beat off the wing with McMahon. And usually, top goalies in the league, you don't beat them very often off the wing, let alone 3 times in the first 2 periods.
So the parents of the Robertson boys live in the Dallas area now. They are from California, but have moved and live in Dallas. But
yeah, he grew up in Michigan too. Did he not?
Yeah. Well, that's where he went. Played hockey. Yep.
In the graphic now, that head-to-head between Nick and Jason, despite the fact Jason's been a 2-time 40 goal scorer in the league, Nick has outscored his brother 3-0, and the Leafs have won all 4 of the previous matches the 2 brothers have played head-to-head. You remember, I think it was an overtime winner that Nick had at home against the Dallas Stars.
So the Leafs to the right, or to the left rather, and the Stars to the right. We're underway with the third period, as the Stars regroup at their own blue line with Heiskanen getting it up on the wing, and it is played down into the Toronto zone. Tanev around back of the net. Up on the wing for Pacioretty. Pacioretty doesn't get it out. Cleared back in deep by Leon Bischkel, and now back of the net, the Stars, with Ben trying to free it up. Ben gets it back to the point. A drive is whistled wide of the Leaf goal. Pacioretty has it on the near wing. Long rink-wide pass, trying to stay onside was Nyes, but he would have injured himself severely had he managed to stay onside, and it is whistled down.
One of those where he could have pulled both groins on one play.
Exactly. Leafs are 15-0-0 and leading going into the third period, and they've got a 2-goal lead here. The Domi line over the boards, and they have been the scoring heroes with each of them getting a tally. Max back in his own zone, gets it off to the defenseman Benoit. Benoit sends it down into Dallas territory to Casey, sends it around the boards, trapped at the blue line and kept in. Now here's Domi closing, shooting, and Casey got a pad in front of that. Good play by Jake McCabe to keep the puck in, and Domi almost had his second. Now around into the corner it goes for McMahon. Bobby McMahon dragging the puck with him around into the near corner. Looks to get it back to the point to Timmins. Timmins back in along the boards for Domi. On the wing for Marner. Domi's going to the front of the net. Marner couldn't get him the puck. Now played back out at center ice, and Stankoven gets to center but loses it there. Now Marner back in, but he's by himself waiting for teammates to arrive on the scene. Tries to play it into the corner, take it off his stick. Back out at center it comes, and Marner has it once more. In across the line, dropping for Timmins, dropping for Matthews. Matthews holds to the left wing side. Back for Marner, back for Timmins. Timmins on the left wing, closing with a shot, and that was deflected into the corner off a body. Heiskanen will get it out into the center ice area. Stars to the right wing side and into the Leaf zone. Matthews lets Marner to the loose puck. Marner to Matthews. Matthews coming out of his own zone with a pass to Timmins on right wing. He's just going to flip it into the Dallas end of the rink. Heiskanen sends it around the boards. Bichsel gets it out at center. Trapped there by Tanev. Tanev will backhand high, too high. Ends up going over the glass and out of play in the offensive end of the rink, so no penalty. And a face-off coming in neutral ice as a result.
I'll ask you this question. You just see the Leafs throw it out of play, center ice area. Do you think it should be a delay of game penalty regardless of where it is in the ice?
You'd have to ask Jerry Cheevers. Because the reason that rule is in is because Jerry Cheevers kept shooting the puck out of the rink.
And then for the longest time, it was whatever the official deemed was deliberate.
Yes.
And then they said, no, we're going to make it a blanket rule if it's in your own end.
Yeah.
Well, now you know it's never deliberate.
Well, no, you wouldn't think it would be. Or it'd have to be really disguised quite well, wouldn't you think? Now here's David Camp in with a shot. Pad save made by DeSmith. And the puck comes out at center ice, and the Stars come through the neutral zone with Sam Steele sending it into the far corner. Benoit rides his man heavily into the corner boards. That was Blackwell. Lorenz trying to free the puck up. It does come free off Reeves, who's playing in his 900th NHL game here tonight. And along the boards now for Perovic. He had it taken off his stick. Camp back of the goal, getting some help, but now the Stars get it back to the blue line. Puck intercepted by Reeves. Reeves just needs to get it out, and he does, rolling it down into Dallas territory. Brendan Smith is there. Got it back out at center for Jamie Benn. Benn couldn't get it into the Leaf zone cleanly. And the Stars will regroup. Benn can't reach an errant pass. Timmins has to scamper back in his own zone to get it. Swings it around on the boards for Nyes. Nyes engaged over there. Pacioretty slides in to try and free it up. Leafs do free it up. Tavares getting it to the defenseman, and he gets it to Pacioretty, who one-hands it down deep into Dallas territory. Played around the boards to the far side. Breaking out with it is Evgeny Dadonov on the right wing. Dadonov into the corner, now around back of the Toronto goalie centered. No one can get a stick on it in a green sweater, and the Leafs get it out into the neutral zone. Nyes has his stick lifted by Dadonov. Played back in over the line. Dadonov on the left wing side trying to work it into the corner, got it around back of the net. Grabbed off there by Wyatt Johnston. Johnston on the wing with a pass into the slot. Broken up by Pacioretty. Leafs try to get it out. Domi couldn't do it the first time. Can't do it the second. Has a third opportunity. This time lofts it down into Dallas territory. Coming up on 5 minutes played in the third period. 4-2 Toronto. Shot into the Dallas end once more. DeSmith out of the goal to cover the puck and then flip it around the boards. McCabe tried to pinch to keep it in. That didn't work. Then McMahon has his pocket pick. 3 Stars in over the line, and the one-timer went wide. And Bobby McMahon made a pretty good play on the rebound off the end boards, or there might have been an empty net to shoot at. Played back into the Toronto end. McCabe. Rink-wide pass, slowed up enough for Timmins to reach. He'll get to the red line. One hands it down into Dallas territory. Leafs are playing rather cautiously here, but so far so good. Marner with a loose puck, dropped it off to Nylander, stolen back, cleared in front of the net by Matthews, and the Stars intercept and bring it back. Duchesne, right wing side, rolling puck in on goal, smothered by Joseph Woll. And he will cover up and hold for a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. The Leafs with a 4-2 lead. Domi, along with his line mates, Jake McMahon and Nick Robertson, have scored the goals for Toronto.
And they were the hotline Sunday at home against the Buffalo Sabers. They got off to a slow start in that game as well. Down 3-1. Well, 2-0 early, and then 3-1 in the second period before they mounted the comeback.
I think I said Jake McMahon. I'm thinking Jake McCabe, but it was Bobby McMahon, of course, who has scored. Played to the line, stick and glove to center. Leafs break it up at the blue line and send it back out at center. Stars trying to get it in. Puck just does get across the line. Tanev intercepts. He gets to the red line. Bounces a shot in wide of the goal. A hit there by Reeves. Takes down Brendan Smith. Now it comes in front of the net. No one can get a shot away. McCabe with a shot that's blocked. Wraparound attempt coming. Nope. Back of the net, Tavares. Pokes it along the boards for Nyes. Nyes trying to extricate himself from the checking. Got Pacioretty to help. Played around the boards, and Benoit pinches now. He'll play it around back of the net to the far side. Centering effort by Pacioretty didn't connect, and the Stars get it out and in over the line. And Dadonov, who was kind of floundering up there around the blue line, couldn't get a chance at the net. Leafs trying to kick the puck up the boards. Pacioretty hoping to be able to get it out. Good pin there by Tavares, and allows Pacioretty to backhand it into center ice, and the Leafs change coming now. Stars Dadonov back in over the line. Trying to drive is Wyatt Johnston. He couldn't get a shot at the net. Comes back to Heiskanen at the blue line. Back into the corner. Johnston with it there as it comes back to Heiskanen once more. Got it around Nick Robertson to get it back of the net. Far side Max Domi. He's just going to get it out at center ice. Domi trying to steer it even deeper into Dallas territory and succeeds. But Heiskanen gets the puck out. His pass, an errant one. Morgan Riley plays it back into neutral ice. And unable to get in over the line cleanly was McMahon. Now he does to send it in back to the net. Robertson with a hit there on Miro Heiskanen. Long alley-oop pass to center doesn't connect for Dallas. Leafs are back in neutral ice with Nylander. Nylander circles back in his own zone, having difficulties with it. Got it to the defense. They'll go D to D, and the pass comes out at center ice for Marner, who flips it ahead, and Matthews just failed to connect, but Dallas now countering. Send it back down into Toronto territory. That got past Marner as it rolls up on the right wing boards. Matthews trying to help out, got it out for Nylander off his stick. Then a pass ahead for Matthews went off the toe of his stick. It's down in Dallas territory though. Marner into the forecheck, diligently working there against Bixel, and as it comes up on the far side, the Stars are going to get it through center ice.
Well, so far so good for the Leafs here in the third period. Very uneventful. Neither team really with a gilt-edged scoring chance.
Played ahead now by Camp across the line for Reeves and Lorenz. Lorenz in along the boards far side, trying to kick it back towards the blue line. Camp does. Back to the point to Timmins. Can't shoot it with traffic in front of him. And when he did, it went off a stick and has caromed up into the screen and gone out of play. The Leafs lead it by a score of 4-2 in Dallas. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this NFL season.
Two AFC West rivals match up for one of the most pivotal games in the AFC playoff picture this Thursday, when the Broncos clinch their spot in the playoffs with a massive road win over the Chargers, complete the season sweep. Make sure you tune into Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio, Channel 1.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. Really would need you guys to go exit out of the chat right now and hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more hockey fans hanging out with us here for the Stars and the Leafs tonight. Thank you guys for hitting that like button and sharing this out, because when you guys do, more people come hang out here, more people enter our awesome community, and we get to have a lot more fun in the chat. But man, we always have so much fun every single night. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go.
Side magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Shots on goal in the third period, 5-1, favoring the Maple Leafs.
That's what they did so well against Buffalo. They outshot them, 19-7 or 19-8 in the third period, despite holding on to a one-goal lead. So they didn't sit back, waited for the empty netter by John Tavares, his third of the game, to put things away.
Draw one by Toronto, but it gets past Timmins and is slid all the way down into the Toronto end. Timmins gets the puck from his goaltender, and Nyes gives it back to him, and around the boards it'll be played and chipped out and down into Dallas territory. No icing. Lindell there for the Stars to play it around the boards and out at center. In on the left wing now with a chance of the pass on the wing. Odds Wall goes post to post. Holy mackerel, what a save made by the young goalkeeper. He robs Miro Heiskanen coming down the right side.
I think it was Connor Timmins was the defenseman that got caught up ice. And it's a 2-on-1 back. Morgan Riley sprawls to try to take away the pass. He wasn't able to do it. And maybe the bonus is that Heiskanen is a left-handed shot on the right wing side. So that pass doesn't go across his body. It's around the middle of the ice, and Joseph Wall. Great athleticism to get over. And as he's falling forward, throws the glove up to snag it away from the Dallas Stars defenseman.
Pass ahead for Nylander. Goes down into the zone. Matthews following up on it, but can't keep it in the Dallas zone. Comes back out at center. Nylander had to go off his skate. Down into the corner. Tanev gets to it first. Rings the boards with it, but it will come back to him. And Tanev now sending it back to Marner. Marner makes a nice play off the boards, but then trying to send it back to Tanev. He'd gone to the front of the net. Now Marner around back of the goal. Just needs to get it out here. As he circles a couple of times, now makes a long lead pass, looking for Nylander, who had broken. And it's cleared by Dallas back into the zone. And it's going to be covered up by Wall, who will bring a face-off with a third period almost dissected. 10:02 left to play in the third, with the Leafs leading by a score of 4-2.
And I didn't say it for obvious reasons before. Feel a little more comfortable right now, but not 100%. The Leafs record when leading after two
is
15-0.
All right.
The Stars record when trailing after two, 0-8-0.
All right. Played into the corner, back of the net for Jamie Benn. Benn forced wide. Still has it as he got it back to the blue line, but Reeves was able to get it out. Now banging up against the boards. The puck comes free, and the Leafs defense has it. Benoit off a stick into Dallas territory. DeSmith playing it back at the net. And out up on the left wing, and Ben gets it into neutral ice. Pass in on the left wing for Wyatt Johnston. Into the slot area, shot blocked. Rebound to the far side. Back into the slot for Johnston, another shot. That was blocked by Reeves. He gets up slowly, but he's made the play. And it's one-handed by Jake McCabe. Back deep into Dallas territory.
Boy, what a great play by McCabe. Out of gas, but sees a lane down the right wing boards to get it to the line and get it deep into the Dallas zone.
And get a change. Robertson chipping it out at center. McMahon. Oh, if he'd have been able to tip it, he had Tavares there. Now McMahon racing after it. Tavares can't get to it. And brought back now by Dallas. Pass up on the right side. Into the slot area. Bouncing puck. Cleared away by Robertson. Cleared off the boards then and out into the center ice area. Tavares centering this line, and I don't know.
Have we seen Max Domi here in the third period?
We certainly didn't see him on this line, and this is the first that I have noticed that he has not been centering this line. And since we don't have any kind of a visual of the bench, we really can't tell you if Max Domi is on it.
No,
or not.
Tavares back out again. Pretty strong here.
Draw one, and a shot from the blue line is caught by Joseph Wall, and he'll hold on.
Well, take a quick look at the ice time.
All right, and I'll go to a commercial break while you do that. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Stars. This guy is at soccer practice right now during the game, and so am I in the parking lot hanging out. So thank you for being here and making this awesome place for us to hang out and watch the Leafs together and chat it up. Tom, you going to score some goals tonight at practice?
Probably over 20.
20? Oh, my God. That's a lot. All right, back to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
There for your team. The NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca. A Fanatics experience.
To celebrate 40 years of It Was a Rainy Day in Pizzaville, Pizzaville is making it rain prizes. 40,000 to be exact. Spend $26 or more to receive a scratch and win card for a chance to win pizzas, ponzos, headphones, TVs, and more. Order online at pizzaville.ca.
Dash for deals at PetSmart. Now through December 24th, save $10 now and $10 later on select large dog food bags. Save $8 now and $8 later on select large cat food bags. Plus, save 50% on holiday products. See stores or PetSmart.ca for complete details.
Leafs up by a score of 4-2.
Going through the ice time again. Max Domi seems to match up evenly with Bobby McMahon and Nick Robertson. And yet, the ice time might not be as high as you would think at this point. Just around the 10-minute mark for each of the three players combined for 3 of the goals.
Tavares is out with Pacioretty and Nyes as it's played out into the center ice area, and Tanev trying to send it back, and there's a whistle behind the play. And I'm not really sure if there is a...
I took a quick glance at the bench. It looked like it was full complement. Oh, my God. All right, 4-1 on power plays now, and this is huge for the Dallas Stars. John Tavares is not a believer in this. Mounts an elbow, but Sam Steele was actually behind him, and there was no intent whatsoever as Tavares went to turn and take a stride. He got Steele in the nose with his elbow.
Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks.
Huge kill for the Leafs here.
Matthews and Marner start up front. Draw one. McCabe spins and sends it out at center ice, and Heiskanen is there to settle it down. Try to bring it back, but it tipped off of Marner's stick and goes even deeper into Dallas territory. Hintz starting away at center. Got it up on the right wing, brought in over the line and into the corner then by Wyatt Johnston. Back to the blue line to Heiskanen. In along on the far boards. It comes back to Heiskanen at the point. Left wing side for Ben. Closing. Shot blocked by Tanev. Puck in front of the net. Shot blocked on the blocker of Wall. Played into the corner. Tanev trying to battle for it. Got it freed up for Marner. Marner elevates it and gets it out and down the ice. Leafs will get a change of penalty killers. Heiskanen back in his own zone. Looks to drop it back. The trailer is Duchesne. Got to the Leaf blue line, but lost the puck. Knocked out at center ice then by Benoit. Heiskanen has to regroup in the neutral zone. Drops the puck back. This time brought in by Stankoven. In on the wing. A shot blocked. And it's shot out and down the ice now by Toronto's penalty killers. 45 seconds left in the penalty and 7 minutes now remaining in the third. The Leafs with a 4-2 lead. Stankoven in over the line on the right side. Steele has it off the boards back to the point to Heiskanen. Left wing side for Dadonov. Dadonov down into the corner. Spins it back now for Heiskanen at the left point. Sends it down along the boards for Stankoven. The centering pass comes back into the slot. Shot attempt blocked. It's going to be pushed to the line and out at center ice. And Lorenz racing after it. Lorenz is in a goal. And a brilliant pad save made by Casey DeSmith. Heiskanen was completely out of gas. But Lorenz beat him to the puck. Got his chance. But a good pad save made. Puck at the blue line. Leaf pushing it ahead. Out of the penalty box, Tavares trying to drop it back, and it was out of the reach of Nyes. Brought back by Dallas now. Steele gets into the Leaf zone. Had his pass intercepted by David Camp. Pass up on the left wing for Nyes. Dropped it off for Tavares. Tavares doesn't shoot it. Curls back, leaves it for Domi. Played in around the boards and into the near corner. Just answered our question.
Yes.
Domi after it in the far boards, being tied up there by Lindell. And the Stars get it down into the Toronto end, and out of the net is Wall to cautiously play it away. McCabe for Domi, who launches it high and down the ice, and racing after it, but not making it in time, is Bobby McMahon, and it'll come all the way back into the Leaf zone. 5:28 is time ticking down here. What a chance for Steven Lorenz. And the shot partially blocked, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just as he was about to let it go, Heiskanen. I don't know why I've always struggled with that, but Heiskanen got his stick on stick just as Lorenz was about to let it go.
McCabe plays it around the boards. Stars attempt to keep it in on the wing. It's launched high but not out. Puck comes back, just kept in at the blue line. Feathered wide of the net by Lyubushkin, and then a deflection in on goal. Stop play. Wall in there, and we've got a bit of a gathering of folks in behind the goaltender as the net was knocked off.
I'll tell you one thing. When this happens now, the Leafs aren't, you're not talking about how are the Leafs going to respond. You see a lot of the opposition looking, you see Benoit, you see McCabe, and they're going, we're good.
Yeah, we're fine here. Yep. No sense escalating this. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hear every game of the college football playoff on Sirius XM. The first round kicks off Friday night at 8 Eastern when Indiana visits Notre Dame.
The Irish have another touchdown.
Then Saturday, it's Penn State and SMU, followed by Texas hosting Clemson and Tennessee traveling to Ohio State.
Touchdown Buckeyes.
Get your channel numbers at SiriusXM.com/college football schedule or search college football on the Sirius XM app. And for expert analysis, check out College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check.
How you doing tonight, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Dallas Stars. The Leafs head south to Texas. Where are you watching from tonight with us here on Toronto Sports Insider? Let us know in the chat if you're watching in Toronto, you're watching somewhere across Canada. Let me see those awesome Canada flag emojis. As well, United States, anybody in the U.S., I know we have lots of people in the United States, including myself, as well as all over the world. So many people gather here to hang out and listen to our buds play and cheer them on with the best community on YouTube. Now let's get back to the hockey. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go!
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favorite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Joseph Wall has been outstanding. The Leaf defense has been solid. After a dominant first period by the Stars, the Maple Leafs have taken the game over, and they have a 4-2 lead with 5:13 to play in the third period.
And look at Dennis Hildeby. Looks like he just scalped some tickets and he's sitting 4 rows deep into the stands.
Not a good view. Not a good view at all. Might be a good spot for a hot dog, though. Brought out at center nigh by Matthews on the wing for Marner. Slid back for Matthews. That was blocked. Now Marner sending it back into the corner. Nylander couldn't get to it. Matthews along the boards. Marner trying to keep it alive, and it's poked out at center ice, and the Leafs unable to get to it as the pass deflects into the Toronto zone. Tanev working back on the boards, tied up his man nicely there, and that allowed the puck to be retrieved and played down into the zone. Marner not touching it, though, didn't get to it, and an icing call nonetheless will bring the puck back into the Toronto zone with 4:36 to go in the third period. A reminder that we're with you on Friday night. I'm going to be a lot like Marty Feldman. I'll have one eye on this screen and another eye on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame playing their first ever playoff game at Notre Dame Stadium on Friday night. 26 degrees and snow showers possible.
Fahrenheit?
Round back of the net. Ekman Larsson got it up on the wing, and it is played out into the center ice area. Lyubushkin got it to the line, couldn't get it in cleanly. Blackwell got it back to the defense. They shoot it in. Tanev, who has been outstanding here tonight, gets the puck in the corner. Now back of the net, run into a traffic jam. Played around the boards to the near point. Chased after there by Bobby McMahon. It goes back into the corner. Tanev is after his man as it comes back to the point once more. Lyubushkin keeping it in. And another long shot is easily caught by Joseph Woll. And with 3:58 to go, another faceoff coming in the Toronto zone.
What we've seen is John Tavares go out. We saw him out with Nick Robertson and Bobby McMahon. We also saw him out with Max Domi and Bobby McMahon. I think that's more for defensive reasons.
Face-offs
in the zone as well, but we did see them, Tavares, go out on the rush with kind of that makeshift line. But I think for Craig Berube, it's more about make sure you're on the right side of the puck defensively.
So now Jason Robertson looking for a loose puck. Wall with a tap on his defenseman's shins.
And it's an empty net. As Casey DeSmith, who took over for Jake Ottinger here to start the third period, has gone to the bench for the extra attacker.
3:41 to play.
35-18, the shots favoring Dallas, but the Leafs up 4-2.
Matthews taking the draw. He's won 11 of 18. And the draw scrummed, but it comes back to the point. Kept in now by the Stars. Into the slot area, and a shot coming. And through a crowd. Wow. Wall had to look through 6 players. And somehow spotted that. And was able to get a glove on it and stop play.
That's when you know you're on, right?
Oh, boy.
You know,
well, I would never know that.
When you're able to spot that through a maze.
I'll take your word for it.
But we would see, and then not make a reference to somebody that had some pretty good moments in Toronto, but Ilya Samsonov, that was sometimes his biggest nemesis, right? Was trying to find those shots.
Stars win the faceoff. Hold at the blue line. Shot coming in traffic. Blocked there nicely. Another shot blocked. Leafs trying to get it out, but it's bounced over Matthews' stick against the boards. Heiskanen trying to keep it in, and a glove pass, says the official.
I don't know what else.
Marner's waving at something. I'm not sure.
Is this a penalty for closing his hand on the puck? It happened in the near boards. Right wing side. Everybody was just trying to chop it out. No penalty.
No penalty.
I thought the way Mitch Marner was motioning to the referee, he thought maybe that he'd close his hand on the puck, but this will bring the face-off outside.
So the face-off outside, yeah. Matthews facing off with Ben. Nylander out there with Marner. And the empty net down to our right. 3:11 to go. Brought on by Heiskanen. Drop back, and a pass comes up on the left wing for Matt Duchene. He gets in over the line. McCabe chopped at it, but to no avail. Nylander after the loose puck. Lost his stick in the fray. Leafs get it to the line, and they get it out. They'll get an exchange of one player anyway. Brought back in over the line by Heiskanen. Heiskanen down into the corner. Matthews couldn't get to it. Trying to get around that fallen stick as it comes back to the point. Heiskanen with it again, back to the point. Shot coming in traffic. Knocked down. Where is it? It's bouncing around. Cleared on the backhand. Rolling wide. Icing call. 2:31 to go.
But still, that's a huge clear. As the Stars, everything in desperation now, get bodies in front, throw it to the net. And boy, you talk about how Joseph Wall saw the last one through a maze. What do we got? 7 players here right in front of him. Boy, and that hit a Dallas player. That might have been Rupe Hintz that had to go off his knee.
Draw to the right of Wall. Won again by Dallas, though. Here's Heiskanen. Working it off on the right wing side. Back to Heiskanen again at the point. Down into the near boards a shot. That was blocked nicely by Matthews, but he doesn't get it out. Heiskanen in with a pass in front of the goal. They score! Blackwell!
And a lot of time left. 2:16 to go. As the Leafs unable to clear the puck, they're about 10 feet from the blue line. As Austin Matthews had blocked the shot, then was taken down and tried to dive to clear it out. It was kept in. And Colin Blackwell, who was alone to the right post on Joseph Wall, had the puck go off his skate and then kicked it back to his stick and slipped it in. And with 2:16 to go, more nail biting.
17:44, Blackwell's third. Goaltender back in the net. Stars back in their own zone. Heiskanen turning, and there goes to Smith to the goal. They'll go with 6 attackers here. 2 minutes left. Brought in over the line. Stolen on the boards by the Leafs momentarily, but they can't clear. Still free. Trying to get it out, and they do. Here's Nylander with a break. Empty net. Going in on goal. Scores! Willie puts the dagger to them with 1:43 to go in the third period.
And a lot of it was just the work of John Tavares on the boards with David Kemp. And Tavares eventually has to dive to knock it out over the line. Willie Nylander picks it up and then outraces Heiskanen to the empty net. And with 1:43 to go, the Leafs have restored their 2-goal lead. And for Willie Nylander, I mean, the first half of the game, Joe, number of turnovers.
Oh, he was
had all kinds of problems.
All kinds.
And yet, if you look at the box score, you're going to think, boy.
2 goals. Long shoot-in goes off of goaltender Wall. 20th goal of the season for Nylander. Numbers 19 and 20 here tonight. As the Leafs get it back and play it in over the line, courtesy Marner, but quickly brought back then by the Dallas Stars. Into the corner goes Sam Steele. He is blocked. Nylander, or at least Marner, against the boards. Got it to Tanev, and it is launched high into the center ice area and down into Dallas territory. Stars leaving their goaltender in here. Back, gets in around the boards to the far side. Chipped back of the net. Comes around onto the near corner with 56 seconds left. Stars with it again into the slot. A shot. Good pad save made there by Wall.
And that is shot number 40 on the night for Dallas.
They've doubled it up on the Leafs. The Leafs have 19. But the Leafs have been opportunistic. Domi launches it deep into Dallas territory. McMahon into the forecheck as it comes around the boards to center. Stankoven across the line, couldn't get free. Shot out at center ice. The linesman blocked that. Leafs get a bit of a break here. They'll regroup the puck. Timmins taking his time as it's back in the Toronto zone, and he and Riley playing catch as it's played ahead, and Bobby McMahon sends it deep with 12 seconds left in this one. Maple Leafs are going to win their 6th game on the road, their 20th win of the season, and their 42nd point as they continue to dominate the Atlantic Division with a huge win over the Dallas Stars, and they have now gone 7 in a row against Dallas and won the last 7 on Dallas ice.
It is incredible, isn't it? The Leafs have done it in many ways, and remember, Austin Matthews broke Rick Vive's single-season record for goals in Dallas a couple of years ago. But here, I mean, this looked like a game, and I know Anthony Stewart made reference to it in the second intermission, that it's a 2-1 game, and it was Heiskanen had the breakaway in on Joseph Wall. Dallas scores there and goes up 2. You never know. It's most likely a different result. But Wall comes up with a big save. The Leafs score 3 quick ones in the second. And I liked their third period for the most part, where I thought they played smart. It was chip pucks out, chip pucks in. Don't try to do anything outstanding. But a lot of times when the goalie's pulled and you got a lot of bodies in front of your net, they're going to sneak one in. And fortunately for the Leafs, they're able to survive that and put it away with the empty netter by Willie Nylander.
Well, if you're lucky enough to have a ticket and heading down to the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, we wish we would be able to join you, but we'll be here to bring you all of the action as the Maple Leafs will tangle with the Buffalo Sabers, and it will be an interesting night. The Sabers are in a free fall. The Maple Leafs will have a lot of vocal supporters going across the border, I am sure. Anthony Stewart and Jim Taddy to bring you the post-game show as the Maple Leafs win on the road in Dallas by a score of 5-3. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every fantasy football player has a date with destiny, and this week is yours. The Fantasy Football Playoffs are here. Listen to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio and dominate your competition with expert analysis from a fantasy perspective to help you set a winning lineup.
And he spins his way into the end zone.
Go home a champion, or just go home.
At this point of the year, I want to be invested in teams that are playing for something.
The Fantasy Football Championship, Channel 87, and on the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network.
They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Marner in over the line looking for Sabers.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Game on his stick. Scores!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
And helping officials on the ice.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Maple Leafs are going to win their 6th game on the road, their 20th win of the season, and their 42nd point as they continue to dominate the Atlantic Division with a huge win over the Dallas Stars, and they have now gone 7 in a row against Dallas and won the last 7 on Dallas ice.
Bonesy summing it up rather nicely. 5-3, the Leafs win in Dallas tonight. Welcome to Leafs Game Night, the post-game show. Jim Taddy, Anthony Stewart, and Jimmy Ralph kind enough to hang around. And Ralphie, another example of finding a way to victory.
Yeah, but man, I don't know if this is a recipe that's going to last long term. Now, just for fun, I went back and looked at the last 3 road games. You know how much the Leafs have been outshot in the first period in the last 3 first periods combined on the road?
One of them's New Jersey, so it's got to be pretty big.
How about 42-11?
Oh.
I mean, and that's, obviously Anthony Stolarz was first star in New Jersey. They got off to a rough start in Detroit. You remember against Pittsburgh, they weren't very good off the bat. It is rather perplexing that a team that set a franchise record last year with 24 road wins really seemed to have a difficult time starting on the road. But, they found a way, and for whatever reason, Dallas seems to be a pretty good spot for the Leafs in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into the third line, who scored another 3 goals tonight, Nick Robertson, Bobby McMahon. But for me, I think the story was Wall in net, 38 saves tonight, and it's one thing to talk about the quality of the saves. I think more so the timing of the saves. And the one for me was the TSN turning point in that second period where it was 2-1, the breakaway on Hintz to keep it 2-1, where if it's 3-1, it's probably all she wrote for that game. Yeah,
and I made the mistake. I said it was Heiskanen. That was the save that Wall made in the third period. It was off Heiskanen.
So many, it's tough to tell, right?
Which was on a 2-on-1. And, it was a game, and I thought once Dallas made it 2-1, I know it looked bad, but Morgan Riley kind of backed off and gave Dadonov enough time and space to change the angle and go short side. But once it was 2-1, I don't know about you guys, but you're thinking, oh no, this could get ugly. And, fortunately, the Leafs had some big penalty kills, and if the goaltender's always your best penalty killer, well, he was also your best guy at even strength.
Well, that was the sort of the hidden storyline in this game, the penalty kills. We talked about this in one of the intermissions. You've got basically the last 5 minutes, give or take a few seconds, in the first period that could have been a disaster. Benoit goes off after the Leafs had taken a 3-2 lead, and then in the third period, could have opened the door as well. 0 for 4, Dallas was in the power play.
Yeah, and, it's one of those things where you say, you know what, life's not fair, but sometimes that's to your benefit. And, I'm sure for Pete DeBoer, and let's face it, Jake Ottinger had an off night as well. And as Joe was saying, not that any of the goals were terrible, but you had 3 of them coming off the wing. And usually, most goalies will say that if I can see him and I can get set and I can get out and get square, 99 times out of 100, I should be able to stop it. And 3 of them found their way. I mean, they were good shots. Even McMahon's over the pad, under the glove. Nick Robertson through a screen. But even Willie Nylander, coming down the right wing side was able to beat Ottinger. So a bit of a rarity for Ottinger to have a tough night. I think coming into the game, out of his 23 starts, only 3 times had he given up more than 3 in an entire game. So for the Leafs to do it 4 in almost half a game was quite an accomplishment.
I know it's a small sample size, but 4 points in his last 2 games. Is Nick Robertson back?
Well, yeah, I mean, the funny thing with this line combination is Domi was out 9 games. Robertson was a healthy scratch. McMahon was out with an injury. So these guys, 2 weeks ago, none of them were in the lineup. Yeah. And so it's not like you could say, boy, they should have tried this earlier. I mean, that they weren't available. For the most part, they were all struggling before they were out of the lineup, either with injury or a healthy scratch, as was the case with Nick Robertson. And for whatever reason, you've got the speed of McMahon and Robertson. You've got, the craftiness of Max Domi down the middle, and they found a little magic. But now, having said that, it is amazing when you start going through the game-by-games for every team and every player, how you'll have guys that'll have a 3 to 4 game barrage with points, whether it's scoring goals or just putting up points, and then you'll go 7 or 8 without. The difference with the top players in the league is those streaks are a little longer one way, and the slumps are a little bit shorter. But it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain that, because, boy, what a bonus it would be. Because I think a lot of people feel that if the Leafs need anything, it's a third-line center. And if Max Domi can fill that role and have some success with Robertson and McMahon, you may you may not have to look that far.
Boy, they really complement each other. I mean, each one brings something different. And Domi, a couple of times where he would have passed, he shot tonight, including the goal that he got. So let's switch to the goaltending department. Just because we haven't talked since Stolarz was declared out 4 to 6 weeks. Matt Murray pitched a shutout tonight as the Marlies were on the road playing the Penguins farm team. So he stopped all 27, and at some point he's got to enter the conversation, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, you would think, unless, they feel that Hildeby deserves, another shot. He's won 2 of the 3 games that he's been in for. But it'll be interesting to see what the mindset of Brad Treliving and who's up next. I don't know if you give Matt Murray the opportunity, just to see how he could handle this level. I think maybe if Hildeby's up for now, you've got to maybe before Christmas at least give him one more.
The fork line weren't passengers tonight. They had a pretty decent night on the stat sheet. 5 shots, 11 hits, 3 blocks. They were pretty noticeable tonight. Continually, quietly, they're just going about their business and making an impact on the game.
Yeah, I thought David Kampf was really good tonight. Getting himself back into the lineup. Steven Lorenz had the opportunity on a partial breakaway in the third period onto Smith, and Ryan Reeves. There were a couple of hits. I mean, you could feel them probably all the way to Alaska. Those bone crunching hits in behind the net. They were a force, and I thought they played smart too. I mean, it was a lot of dump and chase and battle, and they won their share of them for sure.
Ralphie, what did you make of the pregame headline? The top line, Marner with Matthews and Nylander.
Before the first goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, when Joe and I were talking about it, I said, I thought it was dependent on as much how the other lines do as much as it was if this line was going to be able to produce. At one point they're going to. Then, of course, you get, the Domi, McMahon, Robertson line, being the least best line. So, maybe Craig Berube says, I can't make any changes because one of the lines is really going well now. It's not the one you might have picked in your pool, but we got to stick with the way it is. But I thought, the first half of the game, it seemed to be a struggle. They were all turning the puck over. They're on the ice for both goals against in the first 40 minutes. And, it just seemed that nobody could make a play. And they got caught up in... I think one of the things you worry about, and I believe on the first goal, it was, who was the pinch by? Was it Connor Timmins that pinched down the right wing wall and got caught? Oh, no, sorry, it was Chris Tanev. And Tanev went deep and nobody backed him up. And that's why they end up getting the first goal. So I think that's one of the things you've got to really key in on, even though you're this highly skilled offensive line. Guys still have to, be aware of looking out for their own end first.
I'm grasping at straws a little bit here, too, but only 1 power play drawn tonight. I know they've been struggling for most of the year. Do you think they need to do a better job of drawing penalties and try to get, 4 or 5 power plays a game? You saw Dallas, they were going above and beyond and, yelling and screaming for calls and trying, they probably expected another 2 or 3 tonight. Do you think they need to find a way to get more power plays to get out of this slump?
Now, Stewie...
I gotta do my job here. Ralphie. Come on.
I know you're biting your tongue right now, but at least you didn't
I'm logging off.
At least you didn't use the embellishment or the dive line. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's funny because remember just what was it last week? John Tortorella was after a game that the Flyers played against Boston, opened up his press conference saying, "I told my guys not to dive. That's one thing I say. We will not dive. We play an honest game. I might tell them to start diving." And I'm not saying, there seemed to be a lot of 50-50 calls. And what was it, 4-1 was the final, Jimmer? In the penalties, yeah. 5-1, 4-1. 4-1. Yeah, and a lot of times, and there was one play where Nyes was going to the net in the second period. And I think it was Blackwell came up and caught him with his stick. The referee was right there and there was no call. Yeah. Sometimes you don't see it, even if it's 10 feet away. You don't have the proper angle. But I thought Nyes did his best to try to draw the penalty there. He doubled over and went to the Leafs bench. But, I mean, I don't know. You know, usually you feel that if you're the team that has the puck more often, you're going to draw the majority of the penalties. But the Leafs haven't done a very good job of drawing the penalties on that. And I thought even the Tavares one, I know it was an elbow, but the guys behind him, it's not like he's even aware of where the opposing player is, and he gets nailed on that at a pretty critical time in the game as well.
Ralphie, thanks for hanging around. Appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe they should dive, Stewie. Maybe the answer to that. Maybe a certain time when you see it get to 4-1. Yeah, maybe just maybe you have those legs.
Take a knee.
See if it works. Yeah.
See if it works. Yeah. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Ralphie. Stu, I think what you're saying though is, I think we talked about this in the Saturday game in Detroit. They only had 2 power plays. They only had 1 tonight, and the road power play it's like a pea shooter. It operates at 10%. I almost want to go through all the road game summaries and see how many opportunities they have. They're not drawing penalties, is what you're saying, though, right?
Yeah, and it's a little bit perplexing, right? As, again, they have tremendous talent, and they're a puck possession team, right? And Austin Matthews is a guy that's in and out of the corners, and, there's guys sort of hanging off of him. Ralphie tonight mentioned Matthew Nyes, and they missed one there. So, again, not saying you need to embellish or dive, but it's just a little bit surprising how they're not drawing more penalties. So, if I'm Berube, I'm saying you got to get to the harder areas and crash the net a little bit more and get skating a little bit more to draw them. But, I think the deficiencies on the opposite end of the scale, it's been, not in the Leafs' favor for the most part. So I think that's just more sort of a system thing. But, I was looking for something, we got to analyze and criticize just a little bit on this performance in a game that they shouldn't have won.
Wow, they were outshot, 41 to, 18?
Yes, I got 19.
Okay, well, we'll give them another shot. But either way, I mean, the shooting percentage is phenomenal. Let's look at it that way.
Yeah, and I mentioned playing in Dallas after the first intermission, the gloom. It just seems like guys were falling all over the place. You saw Domi in the third period, get an opportunity because it just slid through a guy's stick. It looks like guys were sliding on skating in quicksand. So it's one of those buildings. It's where it's almost, you're in the Matrix where the game can go any other way, and it's not necessarily, the right team winning. But Toronto resiliency, that's another word to describe this group. And they found ways to win games. They found ways to get the saves at key times, which I don't think they were getting in previous seasons. And, they're getting balance. And that's the key right now. That third line has been great. And, I'm eating a bit of crow as I was banging the drum for Fraser Minton, but Domi seems to be stepping up along with McMahon and Robertson. So this balance, along with the top guys stepping up at key moments, has been the key to success so far through 32 games.
Leafs win at 5-3 in Dallas. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
At Sleep Country, we know the importance of a good pillow. With back sleepers, stomach sleepers, and even hot sleepers, finding the perfect pillow is possible. Come in for a personalized pillow fitting, and our sleep experts can find one that's just right for you. Right now, buy one of our best-selling pillows and get a second one free. But hurry, for a limited time only. Restrictions may apply. See in-store or online. Sleep well, stay well, Sleep Country.
What the flock?
Excuse me?
What the flock? These wings are amazing.
What the flock? I mean, what are you talking about?
What the flock wings? Try one.
These are delicious. I bet the kids will love them.
Yeah, but maybe we should call them WTF wings in front of the kids?
Seriously?
Oh, yep. Now I'm hearing it.
Get the What the Flock family combo. 20 wings, garlic bread, large potato wedges, 4 cans of pop, served with celery, carrots, and 2 dips for just $46.99. Order now on Uber Eats or skip the dishes. Or visit WTFlockwings.com.
Right now, get 35% off Crave monthly plans for your first 4 months and start streaming the latest blockbusters like Joker, Folie à Deux.
That's what we should be talking about.
Based on the best-selling novel, It Ends With Us premieres December 20th.
Now you see me.
Plus the exclusive HBO original, The White Lotus. New season starts February 16th. Catch up now.
I feel like I'm in a dream.
35% off monthly plans for your first 4 months. Ends January 6th. Terms apply. Learn more at crave.ca/Boxing Week. Crave. Endlessly entertaining.
Leafs Game Night. Toronto wins 5-3 in Dallas. That's back-to-back 5-3 wins. They did that to Buffalo on Sunday night, and on to Buffalo for Friday night. We'll have the game for you here on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The pregame starts at 7 on Friday night. So, Stu, take us into the Dallas side of things. You're in a homestand. That's game 5 of their homestand, so they dropped to 3-2. It's a 6-game homestand, and you're playing reasonably well. You're getting your opportunities, but at the other end, and I don't think I'd throw the goalie under the bus for some of these things, but the puck just keeps going in. What do you do?
You shake your head and you find a way to try to get back into the game, and any way you dice it, I'm sure Coach Pete DeBoer is not happy. They scored 2 goals in 16 seconds on 2 shots, in that second period. Their first 2 shots of the period, 3 shots on 8 goals, 3 goals on 8 shots. So not good enough for Ottinger, but I don't think they were necessarily weak goals. It was, that McMahon was a rip. You saw Nylander go bar down, and Nick Robertson, maybe he probably wanted that one back where it went between the wickets. So you can't necessarily fault him, but, Toronto just finds a way to have that resiliency, and, they're developing a little bit of that killer instinct where they smell a little blood. They find a way to capitalize on the mistakes. In Dallas, they had a couple big turnovers through the neutral zone and at the blue lines. They weren't managing the puck. They didn't capitalize on the power play. They had a couple breakaways that they missed, a 2-on-1 in the third period on Heiskanen. Wall stepped up. So they didn't really have that killer instinct. In Toronto, when they had their opportunities, they made the most of it. So it's almost like a heavyweight fight where, maybe they're on the ropes a little bit, but they have that heavyweight power where they can land that big punch and turn over a game in 2-3 shifts. So that's another thing other teams got to be cognizant about, saying, hey, Toronto, they have the ability to put the game ahead or out of reach within, a quarter of a period. You got to play now a full 60 minutes and pay attention to the details that much more, which is easier said than done.
So let's go to the flip side of the Leafs discovering depth scoring. So you're in the Dallas room again, and the Leaf third line eats you for lunch in this game. What would the reaction be? You're a little bit disappointed, obviously, but you have to put it on the grand scheme of things. It's an 82-game season, peaks and valleys, ups and downs, but you're like, hey, we lost to a pretty decent team, and you go around through all 4 lines. All 4 lines showed up and had a decent night, and I mentioned the 4th line. They had 10 plus hits, 4 plus shots. They were blocking shots as well, so they were getting involved. They were softening up the defense by getting there on the forecheck. We obviously talked about the third line, Nyes, Tavares, and Pacioretty. That's a line that's hard to play against. You saw the big hit by Pacioretty the first shift, period as well. So when you go through it, it's like, hey, most of the team had a B game for the most part in making the most of their opportunities. And another solid game by the defense. Tanev, OEL, McCabe looks solid, blocking shots as well. So, the shots don't necessarily paint the picture of the game that it was, but fundamentally, the Leafs had a pretty decent night. Let's go back just before we break here. The Pacioretty hits, not just the one tonight, but if you go back over the last 3 or 4 he's delivered, they're sort of deadening in that there's a reaction from the other team, but there's no penalty, and you go, wow, that's a major league hit, isn't it?
And he took it a step further tonight where he actually drew a penalty because someone came after him, right? So is, that's discipline to a T. And, if I'm other teams now, when he's on the ice, you know what? This is not Max Pacioretty, the 30-40 goal guy. This is the guy that might come and take my head off. So I got to be aware of my P's and Q's and make sure that, you know where he is on the ice. But what that does now, it creates time and space. When there's a guy that's going to come in and be physical, it's going to force the defense to maybe get rid of the puck a little bit earlier, or they're going to say, hey, you know what, maybe we're not going to close on him as quick because we might get reversed hit. So that physicality element is very, very impressive, and it's almost an evolution of his game now being at his age. And I'm most surprised and shocked that he's doing it coming back from an injury, right? But, him in the top 6 doing that, it's forcing those guys in the bottom 6 saying, well, this is not necessarily his job. He's, here now in that top 6 to provide offense, and he's doing this on top of that. I better make sure I'm doing my job to a T. So, if I'm Reeves and Lorentz and Dewar, I'm like, okay, I can't have this skill guy out hit me tonight. So I'm sure they raised their game, and each of them had 5 and 6 hits a piece. So it's contagious, and it just makes the team overall harder to play against, which is part of Craig Berube's system.
Leafs win at 5-3. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray. Coach Belichick, University of North Carolina. When did this come into your mind?
The way college football has evolved, it's really a lot like pro football. Players are now receiving compensation, and a lot of college coaches contact me and ask me about negotiating and so forth, and kind of the more I looked at it, the more it looked like a version of what I've been doing.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, a hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Game night, Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you for a couple of minutes before we leave. So 5-3, the Leafs win in Dallas tonight. And next stop, of course, Buffalo Friday night. That's a 7 o'clock face-off, so we'll be on the network at 6:30, TSN 1050 at 7. And in this particular game, the Sabers have, lost 11 in a row now. So you don't know what could happen there.
Oh, I think I know. No, I know it's. I hope I don't know, but again, Toronto's just have to find a way to keep at it, right? And not saying they're playing with house money, but there's been a couple games, I believe, this month that possibly they probably shouldn't have got 1 point, let alone 2. So I think they got to, sort of count their luck here and make the most of these opportunities. But, Ralphie was mentioning they've been getting quality goaltending. A lot of these wins have been due to goaltending. And what you don't want to do now is overwork them and have them now, have to face 40, plus shots every single night. But I think tonight was a one-off just with regards to, Dallas putting on, their foot on the gas and just getting a lot of volume to shot. But fundamentally, it was a pretty good game. But you don't want to be going into all these games now where you only got 19 shots. They had 4 shots, I believe, after the first, 12 after the second, and 7 in the third. You got to find a way to sort of balance that attack a little bit better.
Great to see Domi shooting instead of deferring with the pass, right?
Yes, and again, the goaltenders are very, very smart. They watch a ton of video, and Ottinger was reading past the whole entire time because I've seen that pass that he's made. He's the guy that threads the needle. I played in a charity game with him in August, and he made that exact same backdoor pass. So great job that he's adding that element, but he's really heeding the advice of Craig Berube, saying he's got to be a little bit more direct and shoot more. And he's got a great shot. Like, he went forehand, backhand, and roofed that. That's a goal. I believe, 20 goals is on his horizon. He's just got to keep up the volume, keep putting the puck in the net. And then what that's eventually going to do is open up those passing lanes, because it's going to keep the goaltending and the defense guessing, not knowing he's going to be a little bit less predictable.
Stu, we'll do this again tomorrow on Leaf Sky.
I'll see you. I'm sleeping right now, and I'm waking up, and we'll have a good chat tomorrow.
Okay, looking forward to it. Thanks very much. Leafs win 5-3. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
Ducks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 920. Jets on Internet 951. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Wednesday, December the 18th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Detroit Red Wings take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Red Wings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 929. Flyers on Internet 940. 7:30 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Stars on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 928. Leafs on Internet 946. 9:30 p.m., Minnesota Wild take on the Florida Panthers. Wild on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 933. Panthers on Internet 931. 10 p.m., Utah Hockey Club takes on the Vancouver Canucks. Utah on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 947. Canucks on Internet 948. 10 p.m., Anaheim Ducks face the Winnipeg Jets. Ducks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 920. Jets on Internet 951. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio. SiriusXM 86.
Hockey Hall of Famer